till it's live. I got to embed this on the page, so we're going to wait for a few more people to come on. This should be entertaining. And I'm going to post this on the front blog in just a minute, but if you're seeing the recording, then, well, there I go, listening to myself. Hold on a second here. Let's see, 590. Just skip forward like 5 minutes, and we'll start within that time. All right. Update. That should do for that. And then I need to delete the... Hey, what's up, gangster?
Mr. Wood, how are you?
Hey, doing good. We're actually starting here. It should be on the site here in a moment. This is the first time I think we've actually talked, isn't it? Well, at the event. I saw you at the event.
Real briefly.
Yeah. Well, you were just having that unnamed issue that we were talking to a lawyer about, I believe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's always fun. Gotta love lawyers. I think we're live. Can you go to the blog post and see if we're up?
How do I do that? Just go to where we sent out the link?
Yeah, just go to where we sent out the link here.
Okay.
And we'll see if other people are able to get on.
I just reset everything on my computer. It's been like weeks.
Hold on a second. If you guys are watching on the blog, we're still getting set up and figuring out how to get everybody on here. We're going to be getting started over the next few minutes, so grab some coffee or whatever late at night and hang out. Hey, Justin, what's going on, brother?
Hey, Justin.
What's up? Hey, everyone. Is that Kevin?
It is. How you doing, badass?
Excellent, man. Love your pilot headset. That's really cool.
That's my old disc jockey headset. What can I say?
Hold on. I gotta. Cool. Hey, you guys chat for a minute. I'm going to be messaging people explaining how to get on this thing. It is a little bit convoluted, the process, so if somebody hasn't done it before, it's a bit confusing. I'll be back in a moment.
Christina.
I haven't met Christina yet. Hey, Christina. I have gotten more emails, Christina, from your post since it went live a couple of weeks ago than anything I've ever sent out in all the years of network marketing. It's awesome. You're awesome.
Alright guys, so here's what we're going to do. There's some background funk that's going on where the sound is tossing back and forth. If you guys could mute out your microphones when you're not talking, it should prevent that from happening. And we're going to go ahead and just get started while other people are piling on. Hold on a second. Just answering some questions here on how to get onto the Google Hangout. There's another person. None of us have ever used this before. It's always entertaining and fun. I'm just going to copy and paste this message. All right, so let me explain, if anybody's watching this who's actually trying to get on the Hangout, how to get on these things. It is a little bit convoluted. I sent you an invite, those of you who I invited on here tonight. And all you need to do is go to Google+, click on Hangouts, click on Start a Hangout. You'll see my picture, and you can join a Hangout that we're on live. And when you get on here, if you can mute out your microphone if you're not talking, we're getting some background funk that's going on because we got people all over the world. So here's what we're going to do, guys. I'm just going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to assume that everybody's going to figure out how to get on sometime in the next half an hour. We actually have a whole bunch of people coming out tonight. This is an experiment. It's fun. I've done these, before. Just the other week, Darty, actually, the ultimate internet schemer, he introduced me to the fact that you can actually broadcast Google Plus Hangouts live on YouTube. Super easy to do. And it's free, and you can connect people all over the world. So right now we've got Christina Munoz, she's in Australia. We got myself, I'm in Costa Rica on the South Pacific side. We got Justin Verrengia, he's also in Costa Rica, but he lives up near Arenal, the volcano. And then we got Kevin. Connect, is it, or...
That's right, man. You got it.
Like connecting the dots. It has a K in, but I didn't know if it was silent.
Connect for connecting with people. Yeah.
Yeah. So we got Kevin, and we've got some other people that are coming on, and it's just a matter of whether or not they're going to figure out how to get on. So here's what we wanted to do tonight, guys. Is we wanted to give you guys some value on how to get to 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month, 30,000 a month, 100,000 a month. In Empower Network, you can take this, you can apply it to any business. It's going to work a little bit faster here and be a little bit easier. Eric, welcome aboard. You just hit over 10,000 this month. It's going to be a little faster. It's going to be a little bit easier here. But no matter what, you can take these principles and you can apply them to whatever business that you're in. It doesn't matter where you are in the world, and it doesn't matter what your background is or whether you've had any success before. Just to get started, I'm going to start off, and then what I want to do is I want to kind of introduce people one by one and just share a little bit of our stories. Those of you who probably everybody here knows who I am. If you don't know who I am, my name is Dave Wood. I got started in network marketing in 2002 by actually my brother recruited me into Amway. I mean, I think a lot of you guys have gotten started in something, and somebody recruited you into Amway at least once, no matter where you're at in the world. I mean, that's a pretty common story. And I failed for about 3.5 years because I was basically to wander around in Walmart to recruit people, right? Which I did, and it didn't work very well. At the end of 3.5 years, I think the biggest check I'd ever earned was about $150. I then started jumping from company to company because I believed in this dream of being able to create leverage residual income and leverage wealth, and it just didn't work very well for me at all. And most success I'd ever had, I got up to about $5,000 a month in a nutritional company. But then I hit a low point in my life. This is back in 2009, where I was homeless. I lived in a van. I had absolutely no money. I got fired from the only job which I could find. I got fired from Greenpeace. If you guys can imagine getting fired from an asinine job, I got fired from Greenpeace, right? Now my brother today, he says you're the richest person that ever got fired from Greenpeace. But I got fired from Greenpeace. You can imagine. So no matter how low you are, just ask yourself, were you just fired from Greenpeace and you got more than I got when I started, right? So I got started fired from Greenpeace, and I was like, shit, something's got to change. And then I started marketing on the internet. I ran into an ad that somebody had on YouTube, where they had a video on YouTube, and I watched this video. I bought this thing, and literally it took me 90 days to start making $30,000 a month. Ever since then, I've never had a week where I've made less than $5,000. Most weeks I've made more than $10,000. Today I make hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. I don't do any prospecting. I don't do any home meetings. I do no three-way calls. In fact, in the last year, I've made an exact total of 0 prospecting calls, and I've recruited thousands of people. And together with Dave Sharpe, we co-launched the Empower Network to empower you guys to get 100% commissions. If you ain't in yet, don't be a wussy. Hit the register button below the video and get in the Empower Network. So that's me. That's my story. And I'm here really for one purpose, and that's I want to create a new $30,000 per month earner every 24 hours by September. And I want to create a new $100,000 per month earner every 7 days. And the reason I want to do it is because that would be the most badass shit ever. So that's me. That's my story, and we're just going to kind of do a round robin, introduce all the speakers tonight. I encourage you guys, if you're in Empower, share this in as many Facebook groups, on Facebook, on Twitter, as many places as you can. Send out last-minute emails and get people here, because this is a unique energy. Because everyone here is making at least a 6-figure income right here. Some of them just created in the last few months. So, Christina, first time I ever actually got to talk to you live. I got your video, the most popular video we've ever had on our site. You've got one of the most powerful stories I've ever heard. And so I'm going to mute myself out, and feel free to take it away. Talking all the way from Australia, tell us what's going on, how you got involved, your background, just the whole thing. Take as much time as you want. I think you might need to unmute yourself. I can't hear you. I could hear you earlier, but I can't hear you right now. What we'll do, we'll see if you can hear. Hold on. I can't hear you, Christine. So what we'll do is we're going to skip, and we're going to come back, okay? And if you could figure that out, we'll come back to you here after we go to after we kind of go round robin. So cool, we got more people coming on. Hey Tony, welcome aboard, man. And Kevin, let's go to Kevin. Kevin, I've actually never even heard your story, so this will be entertaining for me. I'm going to mute myself back out. Take it away, buddy.
Hey, well, thank you very much, Dave. And for those of you guys who don't know me, my name's Kevin Connect. I'm here in Phoenix, Arizona. My wife, Melissa, the reason we got started in home business, gosh, in 1997, in the 1900s, as my little guy Tanner would tell me, is we wanted to be home with our kids. And I was a disc jockey for years. I guess that's why I wear these dumb headphones. I love them. And I was working for the low, low price of $5 an hour overnight radio at 23 years old, and figured out that that was not what I wanted to do the rest of my life. Although I wanted to be Howard Stern, but I just didn't really have the platform to do that at $5 an hour. So we found network marketing. I had terrible results for years, 1994, 5, 6, 7, and I met Melissa, my wife, at the end of 97. And Dave, we met on America Online back in those little chat rooms. Those little chat rooms were awesome. Some of you guys may know what I'm talking about. So we met, we started working in top-tier home business, and we actually hit 6 figures. It took us a couple of years to do that. But, we made a... I don't know if you guys can hear that or not.
Yeah.
Guys, yeah, you need to mute yourself out if you're not talking, because we got a lot of people on right now, and I don't even have a headset, actually, funny enough, because I also don't have a phone. But if you're not talking, if you just mute yourself out, that'll prevent stuff like that from happening. Sorry about that, Kevin.
Hey, no worries, man. So, long story short, we've been working from home in top tier for a long, long time, and we've had some good years, we've had some okay years, and we just never had the real breakthrough consistency year after year. I know Tony Rush will talk more about this later, but you can have like a $40,000 month in top tier followed up by like $5,000. It just never, you kill in that network marketing arena, and we went up and down. We traveled around the world, and that's great, but we wanted something that actually we could build a list, and we could actually have something to start each month with, and that's what, Tony, actually, I know he's on here somewhere, over right there, started back in November. He's like, Kevin, you ought to do this. And I was like, yeah, whatever. I'm too busy being broke over here in top tier, right? So finally, it took us till March of this year, when I think around the 15th of the month, he's just like, dude, you gotta look at this. Like, this was a Skype chat, right? And I'm gonna have a $30,000 month. And how are you doing in home business, by the way? He knew how I was doing. So we got started here. We just plugged and played, man. I mean, we were really down there financially, quite frankly. We had the money to get all in, but not by much more than that. We started following the system here. Within 30 days, we started doing just about a sale a day. And I heard you say on one of these webinars or something that, hey, if you'll just do a sale a day for 60 days, you'll hit $10,000 a month. And I thought, son of a gun, really? How could he promise that? It just made no sense to me how somebody like you could make a promise like that. That seems so out of alignment with what I've been exposed to up until this point. But I just thought, we're going to do this. And Melissa got on board with me. We came to Atlanta. We still were like 99% in Atlanta. But seeing you and David up on stage, we were just, we were sold. We were just thought, man, why didn't we bring like 100 people with us instead of like a dozen? And we've come home since then, and we've done a sale to a sale and a half a day now, and we just had our first $20,000 month in a long, long time. And man, we're just happy because get this, we've had 14 people on our team now, David, who have made sales in the last 30 days. And out of those 14, I believe 13 are all in. So there's a hint: get all in, start using the products. You'll probably have the results. And when you have that synergy and that integrity to yourself, you can really do some powerful things. So I'm having powerful conversations with my team, because when they start asking me, Kevin, how do I do this? How do I do this? Well, go to video 8, go to video 4, do this, do that. Leave me alone. I'm playing video games with Tanner, who's right off the screen. Right, Tanner? Yeah, exactly. So that's a little bit about me, and we've got kids our son Josh just started. He's 23 years old. He had his first sale last week, just putting stuff on Facebook. If my 23-year-old son can make a sale, then everybody else in this webinar watching, you know what? You guys can too. And I can't wait to hear Christina, wherever she got to on here. Her story is like the best. I feel like, my gosh, what I should be doing like 10 times more, seeing what she's been able to accomplish so far. So love the team here, and love what you guys have put together. And I could talk all day, but I'll turn it over to somebody else. Thanks.
Well, hold on a second. And, that's the thing here is that we say these things and people don't believe it. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, hey, make a sale a day and it's a $10,000 a month income. And they don't believe it. And the second they start doing it, it works. You know what I mean? And it's amazing the stories that we have of people that have literally never made money. We're not talking about people with big lists here. They make money too. We're talking about people that literally, they've never, ever made money before, ever. And they come in, they start making a sale a day, and they get to $10,000 a month. They start making 2 sales a day, and they get to $20,000 or $30,000 a month. And it actually is ridiculous. I mean, I came up with that because I was watching the numbers, and then I started teaching, and I was kind of nervous. But then people started doing it, and it worked exactly like we said it would work. So great story, man. So what we're doing, and for those of you who just joined us, is we're just kind of doing a round robin here, and we're sharing. We're sharing stories, right? And, our background, how we got into Empower, and what kind of brought us here. So, Chuck, I know that you got to go. Congratulations, by the way. You just hit 50,000 this month. But here's the thing. Chuck just had his first $40,000 month with us and his first $50,000 month, like, just 3 days apart. He hit 40,000, blew past 50,000. So, that's like a $600,000 a year income, dude. I mean, that is the most gangster shit I've ever heard in my life. Honestly, congratulations. Can you share your story? I mean, I know you've got a list. You've been around for a while, and a lot of people here have lists. Some people don't. Some people are brand new. But can you just share your story, kind of how you got exposed to us, what got you in, what you've done here, how much money you've made? Just take it away, buddy.
I like this one. All right, here we go.
Can you talk, man, Charles? You're muted.
Oh, no.
So we're the most technologically retarded group of six-figure earners on the internet, just so you guys know. Hey, can anybody hear Chuck at all?
Can you hear me at all right now?
Oh, there he goes.
Gotcha. Okay, so hey, Chuck, over to you, buddy. Take it away. Tell us your story, man. Where you come from, what brought you to this crowd, and why it's happening.
Cool, man. Well, I appreciate it, and I think as I was meeting me, it was just going back and forth. So I think that was but now we got that solved. When I first got into Empower Network, I got in November 15th. I didn't even get in right away because I wasn't really sure. What it was even going to be, and when I did get in, I thought, okay, well, this will be a nice, cool little upsell thing I can do on the back of one of my other funnels and stuff that I have, and it ended up being obviously something a lot better than that. I mean, my first month, just messing around with it. I mean, I made like $7,900, and I wasn't even trying, and then I continued to be like $8,000 to $9,000, and then went through like our little.
If you're having sort of crazy feedback, I don't know if that's coming from somebody else's computer. You're going to need to unmute yourself again because I just muted you out. There was some crazy thing happening. So. Oh,
it's quiet as a mouse around my house, so I don't.
Yeah, if everybody who's not talking can mute yourselves out, we're getting some weird feedback issues. So I'll mute myself back out. Sorry about that, but it was going crazy.
No problem. But I mean, long story short, when I first started Empower, I didn't think it was going to be something as great as it is now. I really didn't have any idea what to expect. Dave, when I first found out who you were, I think I found you on YouTube running out in the ocean in Costa Rica saying, who's going to join me? And I didn't know what to expect, after I saw that. But being with Empower and working with you guys and the community you've created and we all have here, I love being a part of it. And it's growing every month for me. And I think I'm like 1 or 2 members away from having like 700 personally enrolled people into Empower, which I'm really stoked about. And obviously.
Chuck, you had that weird feedback thing happen again, man. So I just muted you out. Unmute yourself again. I don't know what's happening. Can other people hear that? That's not just me. You guys can hear that too? Yeah, it's going crazy. So unmute yourself again, man, and try again. Hey, dude, I gotta mute you out, brother. It's going crazy, like a static TV gone mad, gone wild. So I'm gonna jump to somebody else. If you can look at your microphone gear. Here's the thing, guys. Chuck's making $50,000 a month on the internet, and his microphone's going crazy. That just says something. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna skip over here to somebody else. I haven't really, heard your story, and so Eric Green, I invited you out. I think this is the first time. Wait, we've talked before. We haven't. Never talked. Okay, I think that you're muted, so you might need to unmute. But share your story. Congratulations, by the way. You just hit over $10,000 a month. Can you just share with people about your background, what you were doing before, what brought you here, and how you started making $10,000 a month? And I don't even know how long you've been marketing here. All I know is that last month you weren't making $10,000. I think that you're like at $12,000 or $13,000 now. So over to you, buddy.
You got it. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
All right, very cool, very cool. Well, it's great to be here. I guess the first thing I'll say is the people that are watching, to get in a room like this with all these amazing marketers, first of all, you got to be all in. So, if you want to pull 10, 15, 50, 100,000 a month, you've got to be all in. And, that's the first thing that I'll say. For me, the event was powerful. I see Tracey Walker there. She's awesome. I've known her for a while, but for me, the event was awesome. What Tony did, what Rob Ford did, Tracey, those guys on stage. I mean, it really solidified how powerful the Empower Network how powerful this platform is. My background, I come from sales and marketing. I left corporate America in 2009. I got actually plugged into social media roughly around middle of 2007, and sort of came out of the gate. And back then I was actually doing videos on YouTube and that sort of thing, and had some initial success because it was still sort of fairly new at that time. And then left corporate America way too early. And because of that, I had everything that I was doing kind of fell apart. So I lost everything. I lost my house. It was a very difficult time because I left a fairly good job that I had been at for about 8 years. But I knew at that time that I needed to stay online and not get back into corporate America. I knew if I got back into corporate America that my dream of really being highly successful online was going to fall apart. So I struggled through it, did a lot of odd jobs, continued to market online, and then and then I had a bout of personal issues. So it was a very, and finally kind of got through that, and now I'm sort of rebounding. And what's been a blessing for me is working with some of my business partners, Chris and Susan Beasley out of the UK, Darren Little, just guys that people that are phenomenal. And I'll say, for me, my success is really pinned on those guys, because if you can bring in a core of people that can, take on and really help you with your weaknesses. One of the things we do, it's a lot like Tracey, is, we focus on managing a community online. Something that we can sort of brand ourselves within the Empower Network, and we focus on education and support with those guys. So for now, the Empower, I'm just with I know over the course of the next 30, 60, 90 days that my life's going to completely change, and I'm going to get to where I've been sort of trying to get to for the last 3 or 4 years. So Dave, I want to thank you. I want to thank Dave, the other Dave as well, and it's just an honor to be even on this. Guys like Justin. I've seen Justin working for a long time online, and it's just awesome to be here amongst such a fantastic group of people.
Well, a couple quick questions. questions for you, and I'm going to turn back over to Chuck here, Eric, while we're out. You hear me all right now?
I sure can. Yeah.
Okay, I think there's a little bit of a delay, but that's fine. There's a million of us from different countries here. So you've been online for ages, it sounds like, that you've been doing a lot. You've had ups and downs, peaks and valleys. You were doing stuff years ago. Truthfully, have you ever ran into anything where it was this easy to make money before for a new person? Just from a perspective of somebody who's been on the internet for a while, but a few of us, Rob's been on for 80 years. He's been online. And Chuck can't work a camera, and he makes money on the internet. But from your perspective, I mean, so this month, let's see, I invited you on. You hit over 10,000. I don't actually know. You're at 13,682 this month, and I don't even know how long you've been. How long you been marketing, and what did you do to make, essentially 14 grand this month? What did you actually do to make that?
Well, I've been primarily using free marketing, so now I'm going to hopefully start ramping up paid advertising, and really the stuff in the 15K is phenomenal. I mean, I've never really done paid marketing, so I think, and Justin really inspired me because I know he was a free marketing guy and really transitioned over, and I've seen what he's been able to do. So now I'm trying to educate myself and start putting out some paid marketing. But, I guess for me, what I try to do is just connect with really talented people that I know are going to crush this, because the way you've designed this comp plan is, you bring a quality person in that can really go to work and throw people in. Those roll-ups are powerful. So what I've been able to do is really put together, just 4 or 5 people that are strong, and that's really my goal. I know I've got to get to the 2 a day. And that's a must, but one of my main goals is to really go after people who are, whether they're offline networkers or just really talented networkers, because I mean it's like you're stilling. I mean, I just sat around, and I think I've been on the phone with like 7 people this month. I've never ever in my life marketing, you're usually on the phone, I'd be on the phone all day long, and quite frankly, that's another reason I'm excited, is because, that just wore me the hell out, man. And so it's really cool just to be able to, I mean, I can't even explain it, man. I don't even know where the money, it's like, where's it even coming from? That's sort of how I feel, and it's crazy. So I've never ever experienced anything like this. So I'm really going to get focused, and all these incredible people on this, the leaders, just motivate me every single day. So, I want to learn everything. I want to learn magazine advertising. I don't think I can learn what Rob knows, but I can outsource it. But that's it, man. He's on the fast track.
He's on the fast track. He tells you what he tells you what he thinks that you'll understand that he knows, and it's like just touching it. He keeps the secrets. But so. You made 7 calls. You're not on the phone all day. You're not even bringing in 2 people a day, and you're at like 14,000 this month. Do you think anybody can do this?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been on the internet forever, but you done no paid media. I mean, they'll blow Chuck's mind. He's like, what? No paid media? That's all I do. So we got to. But you've done no paid media, $14,000 essentially a month after the event. Do you believe anybody can do this? I mean, truthfully, from your perspective, you've been around for a long time. You've seen a lot of people do a lot of things. If people will just get 2 a day, will this work for them?
Absolutely, and you've already the sales videos are incredible. I'll tell you a quick story, and I'll let you pass it on to these rock stars. But I had a guy that came in, and a friend of mine, Ernie, and he'll do well with this, but. His partner decided to come in, and Ernie came in at Basic and Inner Circle, and he said, hey, my buddy's going to go ahead and come in, and I said, dude, you need to go ahead and do that in a few days. So his buddy, this is his partner in business, comes on, does the Basic Inner Circle, and then he's in the back office, and he decides, I'm going to click on the Costa Rica intensive. Freaking watches your video, and he freaking pulls out his credit card and buys it, and it rolls up to me, and Ernie's like, dude, what happened? I said, I told you, man, these videos back here are so powerful, they convert. So this is his buddy, and he told his buddy ahead of time, don't buy it. So guys, to me, all you have to be is a professional inviter with this deal. Just invite people to the content, invite people to the sales videos, and guys, it's going to convert for you. You know, I have to spend hours on the phone, you know, with people and going through all this crap, and you know, now I just like your 15-minute deal, I've mastered it now. It's not like down to 10 minutes when I'm on the phone with somebody now. You know, are you serious? Do you want to make a lot of money? Okay, well, here's the next step, bottom line. You know, go watch this video. Oh, you haven't seen this video? All right, well, what are we talking about? You know, so it's awesome, man. Anyone can do this. I mean, anybody, and, you know, I mean, it's proof. There's people, I've been online a while. There's plenty of people in Power making more money than I have that have never even done any sort of online marketing. So.
Well, we got a few of them today, and there's so many more that just couldn't make it today. I mean, we could literally be on here for 18 hours with all of it. But, you know, thanks for coming out. We're going to keep bringing people out, you know, keep getting feedback, but I just want to introduce everybody first. I mean, that's just a powerful perspective. You've been online for a long time. Easiest thing you've ever done. You're not on the phone. You're used to being on the phone all the time, and now you're not and making more money with less work. So it just is unbelievable. Next person, I'm going to try to turn it back over to Chuck, and hopefully it's not going to be like a roaring lion at us here. Again, Eric, you could mute yourself out here. Chuck, I muted you out, so I think you got to unmute yourself. But you were in the middle of talking about how you've been on, you know, advertising for a while. You're going to market this as an additional thing, and then the computer just went like that. So you 50,000 this month. You're at like 53,000, which is, by the way, crazy in a month. And I think that you worked this part-time. I'm not even sure. But just take off where you left off. We'll hope the microphone works, and then I'll probably have some questions for you as well. I'm going to mute myself out here.
All right. Does it sound better this time? All right, cool. So, sorry, my webcam has a mic in it, and I think it got its paths crossed or something, and hopefully it won't do that again. But, yeah, so when I initially got into Empower, I was thinking I could just use it as a, you know, something on the back end of a system that I had already made, like a funnel I already had, and it's turned out to be obviously something a lot greater than that. And it's quickly, you know, I do have a couple of income sources, but this has quickly become my primary business that I like to promote. I like the community here. I like, you know, everything about it. And, you know, I'm not doing anything different than I've done in the past, promoting high-ticket direct. You know, I didn't catch the name of the first presenter that spoke, but I mean, he is correct. I mean, you know, one month you're a hero, the next month you could be a zero, and that kind of stuff. And, you know, but with my marketing, I was always able to make pretty good money in that industry. But so the way I'm marketing and stuff is the same, but now I'm just driving traffic to Empower, and the way you guys have the funnel set up and the follow-up process and everything it's awesome. I mean, so to me, it means that you know, Empower is what the difference is. I mean, everything we have here. Is the reason why that someone like myself with the marketing I do is able to make the money that I'm making. And, you know, and I was just trying to figure out some quick numbers while I was fixing my microphone, and I'm almost right at like 700 personally sponsored people into Empower, and I've been in for like 8.5 months. Like November 15th, I think was November 9th or November 15th is the date I signed up, and that's like 8.5 months, right? I mean, and I've got like 700 people almost, so that's, I mean, just quick math, that's like 2.7 people per day. So way over the 2 per day, and look at the kind of money I'm doing. So I mean, it's crazy, you guys. I mean, and a lot changed for me since the Atlanta event, and that was only last month. And I'm already excited. You know, of course, I'll be seeing you in like a week and a half in Costa Rica, and then I'll be going to San Diego too. It's awesome, and I'm glad to be a part of it. And you know, I can't wait to see what how the back half of the year is going to look when we finish it out. It's going to be crazy, and what 2013 has for everybody. I think it's going to be awesome.
Well, let me talk about that here for a second, because sometimes, Chuck, that, you know, people hear 2 a day, you know, and they get overwhelmed, like, oh God, I've wandered around in Walmart for years, my best month ever, I sponsored my grandma, you know, you're telling people to get 2 a day, you know, I can't even get 1 in, my biggest check was $40, you know, and first of all, I feel you guys, but let me just ask, can I ask you some questions, just some honest, truthful questions, just because I want to give some feedback to everybody that's listening. First of all, do you prospect? In other words, do you pick up the phone and do you cold call people to get that you brought in over 2 a day? How many actually prospecting calls have you made to leads that weren't interested in your business, where you're picking up the call and just sorting through massive numbers of people to sponsor the 700 people that you brought in the last 8 months? I
have never done that once, and I never would. I would definitely don't want to build a business that way. I hate doing that stuff.
Okay. So next question is, how many home meetings have you done? Because obviously, in order to sponsor 700 people, you have to have done at least 2 people per meeting, 350 home meetings. I imagine you have people at your house every week, and you're hanging out and getting them drunk so they sign up because obviously, this is the only way to get people in. But so seriously, so how many home meetings have you done?
Man, I've done 0 home meetings. I mean, there's been some people locally to me that want to meet up with me, like at a Starbucks and stuff, and that's fine. But I just already prime them and say, like, if I'm happy to do that, but you pretty much have to be ready to go all in when we meet. Otherwise, I don't have the time. But and that's happened like a handful of times. Most of the time, obviously, I don't have any home meetings. Whenever people are at my house, it's for a party or something. I mean, I don't do anything like that.
You're not doing home meetings. You're not prospecting. Are you doing? Wait, so your team's getting started, and then they're going out and doing home meetings. You're doing like freeway calls and convincing people's grandmas to get in. I mean, because you're making $50,000 a month. Obviously, your team's having a lot of success. You got another $50,000 a month earner in your team. So it's you and him and a bunch of other success. So I mean, how many freeway calls are you pounding the phone? Are 150 people calling you from the morning to the evening? I mean, what's your phone schedule look like?
No, I don't do any three-way calls. And the only calls I return, the only time I'm on the phone is if someone calls me first and they say, hey, I have a couple questions before I want to sign up, if that even happens. Or, I probably get like a half a dozen total phone calls per day, and then I'll return those calls, and that's it. I don't do any prospecting. I don't do any three-ways. I want to, I would, but it hasn't happened. I haven't needed to, and so I don't. I don't pound the phone, so I don't feel like I should teach other people that they have to do that in order to be successful, because you don't. So I would never want to build a business that way. I tried doing that kind of stuff a long time ago and quickly got tired of that. So I would never want to go back to that, and I would never recommend anybody do that. If that's your thing, I guess that's fine, but it definitely is not mine. And obviously, you don't need to do it.
Are you a public speaker? Like, do you give lots of speeches? Do you speak 250 days a year like Brian and Tracey? Because $50,000 a month is like the average family of two. Their whole income from two people working with 4 kids every month, 12 times a year. You're earning as much as like an average family of 4 earns in a year every month. So are you a professional speaker? Have you authored several books? What's given you this ability to do this? This is crazy.
No, no, I'm definitely not a professional speaker. I can, it's comfortable for me to shoot a video at my home, or something like that, and shoot it out on YouTube. But I was scared to death to go up on stage in Atlanta, even to get that check and have you guys ask me a couple questions. And then same thing like in Costa Rica and San Diego. That's out of my comfort zone a little bit, but I'm learning that, like, stepping outside. I'm growing a lot this year, so doing stuff like that is helping me. But heck no, I'm not a professional speaker by any means. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. Not at all. I want to learn from, like, Tracey and Tony and all. They're super good at that stuff, and I'd like to learn from them. On how to get comfortable doing that, because I'm sure not. So.
Well, that's the fascinating thing. It's like you don't do any of the stuff that everybody tells you to do. You don't walk around in a suit in Walmart with a spear attacking people, and you're not spamming Facebook. I don't even know if you ever log into Facebook. And so what you do is in the 15K formula, right? Your main strategy that you've used for 7 years to generate all your leads and have your success and make $50,000 a month without running around all the time, it's in that product, right?
Absolutely, yep. And then having my team duplicate and do the same, because you can probably see I've got a lot of my teammates duplicate. Not just one, but I have several people on my team that duplicate, and I get those pass ups and those roll ups, and that's powerful. That
$6,000 in a day yesterday from, like, mostly pass ups, right? Just yesterday. It was 6,000. In a day, dude. 6,000 in a day. I was like refreshing and watching your commissions go up. I was like, shit, this is badass.
Yeah, no, that's pretty cool. Yeah, and it's just like it created a monster. You guys created a monster, but it's awesome. It's like I feel like I couldn't stop it if I wanted to. Of course, it just keeps coming. It's like all the time. And I was at the gym yesterday, and I had a Costa Rica and a 15K sale. I was there, and today I took a freaking shower and had like 2 Costa Ricas and another 15K, which is what brought it up to like 53 and some change. So it's just it's great. I don't even know what else to say. It's awesome.
Well, here's what I want to say is you have a very unique way of getting leads that doesn't take a lot of hands-on, that's in the 15K formula. And if anybody here has not bought that product, Chuck is making $50,000 a month from what he teaches in that product. I would go into your back office, click the 15K formula, watch his his webinar. Chuck, I got to jump over to Tracey here. You're welcome to stay on. I know you do got to go in a bit, and if you're on, I'd like to have your participation somewhat later in this. But I want to bring Tracey on because I think she's in a hamburger joint or something like that, and there's like a shoe in her, and she's got to take off here for a sec. So I just want to tell you I appreciate you. Feel free to stay on as long as you can, and we'll bring you out here again in a few minutes if you are. Tracey Walker. Now this is fun, and I don't know if Tracey's unmuted. Can you talk, Tracey, just real quick?
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Now, we've worked together for years. Now, this month, you're at 39,260. Wait, let me refresh.
Refresh.
You might be over 40,000. No, you're right there. So somebody in Tracey's team log in at 5:15 p.m.
What's the number? 39 what?
39,261 is where you're
Oh, my
at.
goodness.
Now, in a month,
Okay, almost 40.
almost 40,000. I'm going to mute myself out. Can you tell us, how you did that, how you got involved in Power Background, and how your story? Let me mute myself out.
Sure. Well, basically, how I did that. Let's start with how I did that. One thing that I understand is it takes a group. It takes a community. And there's something that I learned about energy and money and the fact that energy, that money is energy. And so if you look at that concept, if you want a lot of money, you need a lot of energy. And that would mean a lot of people contributing their energy to the whole group. In the past, I tried to do that, but the commission structure just wouldn't let us get past a certain point. For me personally, my personal production or whatever that was. And so technically, I'm not doing anything different now than I have been doing all this time. It's just that now we have a greater piece of the pie. And seriously, 100% commissions has made the difference in my life. It's the butterfly effect. I changed one simple thing, which was the vehicle, not necessarily my actions, and that made a huge difference. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and that's how I did it to get there. My team is absolutely phenomenal. Background-wise, I am a corporate, an ex-corporate junkie person. I have an MBA, I have a master's degree in business and student loans, and I was primed to be a corporate exec, maybe a chief marketing officer at some point, and started working in corporate America and was laid off after September the 11th. I was an energy trader. I traded gas, power, coal, those types of things, and after September the 11th, a lot of my colleagues in the World Trade Centers, of course, that catastrophe caused a lot of issues for families, businesses as well. And my company went through a round of layoffs, and I think I was the only person on the trading floor that literally had my crap packed in like a box. My pictures, all my little stuffed animals, all of my plants, my stuff was packed, and I prayed every month that they would call me to HR and lay me off because I knew I could get severance, and from there I could continue on in my real estate business, which I was doing part-time. So what ended up happening was around the second round of layoffs, I was laid off, and the great thing was I did get about $25,000 in severance. I got Georgia unemployment. I used that money to literally fund my direct mail for my marketing that I was doing for my real estate business, where I was pretty much working with homeowners who were facing foreclosure, and I negotiated a lot of short sales. For about 4 or 5 years, did that very successfully. The problem there happened in 2006 when the market went down, and when that took place, I knew I needed a whole change of income. My house went into foreclosure that I had built from the ground up. My cars went into repossession. We were living off of credit cards, and I just didn't know. The electricity was rigged, the gas was rigged, and something interesting enough, I was just at an event this past week from T. Harp Eckers Group. It was a personal development thing, but it was an internet marketing course, and Alex Mandozian was up there, and somebody else that was training, he was pretty much talking about his story where he had a wrench where the water was cut off at a point in his life, and he would just go out there with a wrench. And that's what it was. We had a water key. So we would turn the water back on when they would cut it off, and then we would get fined more money because we're not supposed to tamper with city property. But that was my life, and all I did was sit at this computer every single day and figure things out and try to follow as many people as I could who seemed to know what they were doing. Dagan was the number one person for me at that time, and I just honed into him. I did not follow a bunch of people at the same time, but as my skills grew, I added other mentors to that to help me specialize things that I was doing. And so that was 2008. I got online, and Dave, you and I worked together in another program around 2009 when you were the homeless van man, and skyrocketed through the leaderboards. I think I was on the leaderboard when you came into that program, and we were like, who in the hell is this David Wood guy? We didn't even know who your sponsor was, right? Because at that point, your sponsor he wasn't producing as greatly as you are. And so, nonetheless, you made this big, huge wave, and I won't go into the story of how you were spinning everybody's names and all that stuff. But the point is, you pretty much made your mark. You got the attention, and everyone's eyes was on Dave Wood, including mine. And fortunately, you and I had a chance to communicate, and we built a relationship over the years. We were in different programs. Timing wasn't right, whatever it was. However, some of the things that you and I both recognized was that there was definitely a gap in the marketplace. And, you're the genius guy that came up, you and Dave Sharpe, with Empowered Network. I don't know how you guys came up with this idea, but when you shared it with me in October of 2011, I pretty much took me 2 days. We were at a conference, and I got home, got on the Skype with you and Dave, and you guys pretty much explained it. And what was so funny at that point, I said, well, Dave, so what is it? What are people buying? What you said? Oh, Trace, don't worry about it. It's just a scam. It's just a scam. We're just going to take people's money. We're not going to give them anything. Don't worry about it. Just get all in. And I said, all right, that sounds pretty good. And I faxed over my form or scanned it and sent it over to you with my all-in amount at that time, and the rest is history. And I think from that point forward, that first month, I think I generated about 20 grand or so. And we moved all the way through the first event here in Atlanta. And I got some teammates that joke with me because the check was a little off, right? So every time I say anything, they always say, wait a minute, Dave, let me finish. Actually, that check over there is wrong. You need to change that check. And since then, even, my goal from the Atlanta event was to do what I had done in the first 6 months over the next 3 months. And I think that I'm pretty much on track with that. And all I can say is that the way that Empower works, the way that the commission structure works at this point, Chuck was talking about he sponsored over 700 people. I'm looking at my numbers, and I looked and I said, well, geez, I only sponsored 385 people. That's just not enough. And I did the average. I think that's like 38.5 people a month. I mean, who does that anywhere else? 38, 40 people a month, and that, again, that's not quite 2 people a day. But at that level, I mean, almost 40 grand this month, at not quite 2 people a day. I mean, that just shows that if we just help people focus on the 2 people a day, even if you fall short a little bit, you're still going to be okay. You're not going to lose your shirt too much. So I'm just excited to be with all these rock stars here, and I see Christina hanging out. Hey, girl. And, we need some more ladies. I'm glad that you're here, right? I was putting on lip gloss a little bit. All these mugs these guys have going on. But and I'm excited about it. My team's excited about it, and anything I can do to contribute. That's pretty much what we've been trying to do. Pretty much like Eric, even building an online community, understanding that it's the environment that will win every single time. The environment will win. So we want to create an environment where people are being fostered, where we're cultivating, where we're following the regimen and we're following the vision of what you and Dave put forth. We don't change it. We just reiterate it. We stamp it in, right? We might add some things to it to make it more feasible for people, but the message is the message. It's unified. It's the core message. It's the 8 steps. It's the 5 steps Dave and Tony put together yesterday. It's on and on. So I'm excited, Dave. I don't know. This year, I think this is the best year ever that I've had online, for sure.
Well, I want to talk about a couple of things here, Tracy, because it's just a little bit of a unique perspective. And by the way, just everybody, what we're doing, if you just pop on the chat, is we're muting ourselves out unless we're talking because there's getting some background feedback and noise. You know, I built Empower Network essentially to make it so if we did what we were already doing, right, it would actually work. You know, so a lot of times in network marketing, you know, they say things and they're just not true. You know, like they'll tell you things like, you know, just, you know, make a list of everybody you know and get 2 people a month in. They're going to get 2 people a month in. You're going to have 8 million people down to 4,000 level. And there's not a faster way to go broke than to believe that's true, right? It's just not real. But here we tell people, sponsor 2 people a day. Some people, you know, at first it's a stretch. You know, they say, well, you know, I've never got 2 people in a month, but they don't realize, you know, when we're saying that, we're saying, well, you know, below this video, there's a link to join for $25. It's pretty easy to get 2 people a day in for if you're advertising, you're not wandering around. The thing I want to highlight just for a second, it's not just you that's having success, your team's having success, their team is having success, and your whole organization's blown up. Your income is essentially almost doubled in the last 30 days. I mean, this is a massive, I mean, last month I think we went like 30, 40,000 a month. So what happened in the last 30 days that caused this just unbelievable boom and success for you? Because it's a really massive change. What happened?
Well, what I think is that the first thing was that I understand the power of events. And when we started with the Don't Be a Rookie planning, I pretty much rallied my team and said, you absolutely have to be here. And I had a huge group that showed up to Atlanta. And many of those people were just kind of tinkering with it a little bit. They were at $25 level, maybe up to inner circle, but they were following me. They were trusting me, okay, even though they didn't fully believe in themselves or the system or they've been burned before. They were saying, well, let's just see. But when they got to Don't Be a Wussy, when we got home, almost everybody went all in. So number one, I didn't have to recruit more people to make more money. Everybody just got all in. They understood the leverage that went along with that. From there, and the announcement of Fight the Forces of Evil, now we had success stories where people who attended Don't Be a Wussy actually were rallying the new people saying, this event changed my life. You have to get to Fight the Forces of Evil. So now we have this huge fanatical type of thing going on in my group where we know we need to get people to the events. Likewise, strategy-wise, I said, listen, everybody needs to be on the leaderboard. I think right now we have about 17 people from my team that are on the leaderboard, and we're pushing every day. I'm saying, listen, that's great, but you need to be in the 125 to get to the leaders meeting. I just sent out a video today and said, okay, well, I don't know what the heck David Dave got going on, but now there's something going on with the top 25. So now you got to get in the top 25, and we're pushing. People are upgrading. People are excited. They're generating the leads. And once they get one sale, then now the belief raises. They're tapping into the Empower Hour calls. Another thing that we do in our group, we have a daily motivational call. We've been doing this since the very beginning. And from day one, our leadership council, which we have, it was maybe 17 people on the call, and there's 9 of us. Right? And so maybe 9 or 10 people were on the calls. And today when I checked, we were up to about 75 people on the call. And so just the massive belief is really what I think it is, the encouraging environment that we have socially with our community, and the fact that they actually know somebody that it's working for is pushing them along the way. They actually know you. They can reach out and touch you. They can reach out and touch and hear Tony and Justin and Mark and Chuck and Christina and everybody like that. And I think that has a big part to do with it. So it was just getting to the events, and people believed. They got all in. Now their people are getting all in, and I didn't do any extra work. I just focused on the 2 a day. Nonetheless, they're following that same regimen, and it exploded.
Well, that's it, and that's what we got to realize is when we simplify this and we make it so it's believable for people. People can sponsor 2 a day. It's not difficult. Because they're not having to present, they're not having to prospect, they're not cold calling realtors, they're not pitching on their friend that stuff. It's just here you don't have to do it, and here you are making $40,000 a month. You've got multiple earners in your team. You've got people paying their mortgages from their Power Network commissions. You've got people making deals every single day, and it's just from being consistent and having one message and one thing. So, Tracey, I know you've got to go because you're in a hot dog stand or something. I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm at a place called Bobby's Cheeseburgers.
well, those windows need some 100% fat. So with a spear. I just kidding. And any final thoughts you've got for people that are watching this? There's two groups. There's people who are in the tower. There's people that are like, what is this? There's people that have been looking at it for a while. I suppose that's three groups. What are your final thoughts for people, just as from your perspective, being with the 3 months,
Well, I'll address the group that they're looking at it and they're not in first. The first thing that I want to say is there is nothing on the internet, the Earth, the planet, the universe, the solar system, the galaxy, that allows us to leverage the community and the marketing skill that Empower brings to the table. You can go and try to piece it together if you want, and that's where many of us, I think, we've experienced that. We've been piecing together different things, and sometimes the marketing works, but the commission is screwy and vice versa. At a $25 level, at the basic blogging platform, I just don't know where else you can go and get that. I'm a blogger, and I've created a blogging course, and I've tried to teach people looking over my shoulder via videos how to blog and how to build it and how to customize it, and it just is not the easiest thing for the new person coming on board, and by the time you figure it out, 3 months have passed by and you aren't in an income producing position. You're not in profit. For $25, it's done for you. All you have to do is pretty much start blogging. And I don't know any better system to do that. And then you have the upsells that come in where the system will automatically work. You and all of this wonderful group that we're a part of, we're doing this hangout and all these different strategies and mechanisms for people to connect into that it's real. You don't get that anywhere else. And so for the people that are thinking about Empower Network, I think you need to stop thinking about it so much. And I think you need to pay the $25 and just see it from the inside. You can't be outside the jar enjoying all the fun. You got to be on the inside. So just get in and see for yourself. Okay, see for yourself. Now, the people that are already in, then you already know the drill. They already know the drill. They know it's get 2 people a day. They know it's read daily. They know it's listen to your audios at least an hour a day. They know it's tap into the community and what's going on. They know get your tickets to San Diego. They know get your teams to San Diego. They know the focus. And so if you're not doing that, then it's not about any extra tips anybody can give you. The tips would be to follow those tips. And if you do that, I can pretty much do everything but guarantee 100% that you will start to see results. And it took me, Chuck is super badass. I don't know what the hell Chuck has going on over there in his neck of the woods. But I'm a free marketing person too. I kind of come from the school with Eric and Justin. I just started the paid marketing around February, March. Right, but I was already making $15,000 a month before I even did the paid. So I don't buy the bull that you gotta buy traffic and all of this. You've got to use what you can to build this business. And so just get all in, scale up your business, take 20%, reinvest into your marketing, send out the swipe files, don't reinvent the wheel, put the ego down. Just do what Dave and Dave say do. Do what Tony says do with the swipe. Aaron Rashkin, he's not on the call right now today because he's traveling, but his swipe file converts like crazy, and that's really what I do. I'm a social person. I'm not the best copy person, so I just copied you guys on that, and then I do what I do, which is build a community, and that those two skills together is what's helping me. So I think anybody can do it from a technical standpoint, from a free standpoint, from a paid standpoint, from a guru standpoint, from a non-guru standpoint. Just follow the system and get to San Diego, period. My dad and my stepmom are coming to San Diego. My dad's 70 years old. So this is ridiculous. If you're not getting to San Diego, you're just not serious. That's the bottom line.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's a couple things that we repeat all the time, and the reality is a lot of people they just don't believe it for whatever reason. We tell them that if you do this, this will happen. They just don't believe it, and because they don't believe it, they don't do it, and because they don't do it, they don't get the results that we're talking about. You actually got to do what we teach. And when we talk about you've got to be in San Diego, there's actually only one person in Power Network who I've said, okay, you've got an excuse to not go. Because it's not an excuse. She can't get out of bed. We actually got her on the live stream, and she still makes over $10,000 a month. But she's the only one. Other than that, you just have to be in San Diego. Okay, you just have to go because that's where the magic is going to happen. You'll be 6 months ahead of where you could be if you don't go. Tracey's proved that. You went, you brought your team. It was at faith that because we've never done an event. And then here's what I want to point out to everybody who's watching this. It's been 6 since we did the event in Atlanta, and the incomes of the people in the top 25 here at Empower Network have grown from 20% to 100% in 6 weeks. That's how much of a difference that event made for us, and the reason that happens for the event. So, Tracey, I think you're awesome. If you're in Tracey's team, log into your back office right now and buy something so she hits over 40,000.
Yes, buy something.
Yeah, that's fine. Just find something to buy, and hopefully hit her name, 40,000. And Tracey, we appreciate you. Get all in. Don't be a wussy. Just hit the button below the video and just hit in. Let's walk our straight. So Tracey, appreciate you coming out.
All right.
And if you can come on later, we'll probably be rambling for a while. Feel free to jump in at any time.
All right, Dave. Love you so much. Thanks for everything. You guys are awesome. Bye, guys.
All right, so next person I want to bring on, actually, from down under, we've got Christina, and hopefully the sound works. Hold on. Christina, can you unmute yourself? I muted you out like 5 times. You're muted still. Hold on. There's a button on the yeah, I can hear you.
Am I off mute now? Can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Fantastic. Okay. I need to calm down for a second. I don't know about everybody else, but after listening to Tracey, what a woman. Isn't she just fabulous?
Oh, yeah.
Clap if you think she's fabulous. I think she's fabulous. Well done. Oh, look, I can't even believe I'm here.
Hey, well, you're doing great. And by the way, your story is the most popular story, I think, ever on a website. You have like 9,000 likes on that story, but there's a good reason. And, I think that one of the most valuable things in bringing you out is not only are you doing well, I mean, I don't even know where you're at this month, but, you're up there. I mean, 13,000, you made 13,000. And different part of the world, so you're not in the States, so this isn't in America,
No.
people. Tell us your story. Tell us who you are, your background, your struggles, what brought you here, what's happened for you, and I'm going to mute myself out and just let you talk as long as you want, girl. Great having you on.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, well, everybody, my name's Christina Munoz, and like Dave said, I'm here from down under in Australia. And it's funny because recently I just sent down an email to my subscribers about Empower, of course, and I was just saying how I really, really wish that they could just plug into my mind and see and experience what I have over my 11 years in the industry. And I really feel that if they could just plug into my brain and just feel everything that I've gone through, they would just join Empower. They wouldn't even think about it. They would join, they would get all in, and they would commit for the next 5 years and never let anything take them off track. As simple as that, And for me, I've actually got 2 stories. You're sort of helping me create a new story, Dave, if that helps, because I have a bit of 2 stories. Like I'm here, I'm not sitting, you're probably noticing, because I have a limit on how long I can sit. Okay, the reality is, last January, I damaged my nerve, my sciatic nerve. And your sciatic nerve is pretty crucial. It goes all the way down your right leg and wraps around. And where the damage is, it's right in the center of my back, quite close to the surface. And I can't have a fusion because all my discs are damaged. So if I had a fusion, it wouldn't cope. My other disc would not cope with it. So what it means is any movement irritates the nerve, and it means I can't sit, stand or walk for extended periods of time. And pretty much since January last year in 2011, I've been housebound other than medical appointments. And how I get to medical appointments, if it's more than a few, maybe 20 minutes, more than 20 minutes in the car, I have this mattress. Can you see it? This mattress here. I put that in the back of the car so I can get to my medical appointments. So the impact of me having sciatic nerve damage changed my life in more than just financially. It changed what I could do. I have to be on medication 24/7 to manage the nerve pain. I'm on it now, but not on the heavy duty stuff until the night time. And it also changed how I run my business, because I've been in the industry for over 11 years. I got into the industry because I damaged my discs way back in 2000. I joined a traditional MLM, you know, worked from a mattress on the floor there too for 14, 16-hour days to build that business. Was able to go from sickness benefits to 6 figures within 3-4 years with my first company. But then after 5 years of all of that, I realised that if I wanted to still continue earning a 6-figure income or what have you, I'd have to devote 14, 16-hour days. And I wanted to have children with my partner. I didn't want to be in and out of acute pain for another 5 years, so I retired. And at that time, it was sort of 5 years after I joined the industry, I didn't have a list. Okay, I built my first business without a list. I built, I guess, my uplines list, for want of a better phrase, and then started building a list for the very first time after I was making a multiple 6-figure income. So then I started from scratch, no list, no nothing, just every company I built with, I built a list, okay? And everything was going hunky-dory until I damaged my sciatic nerve last year. And I was no longer a 6-figure income earner anymore. You know, I literally was lucky to be able to work 2-3 hours. I had surgery in May. The whole year really was a bit of a nightmare. I think I can count on one hand how often I was able to have a 5-figure month. I think it was September and October, they were the only months. And by February this year, it was getting really, really, really scary, really. I thought our savings are only going to last so long. I need to find a way to be able to earn, you know, a 6-figure income part-time. And I knew that's pretty much what everybody needs to be able to do. People can't work 14, 16-hour days to build a business anymore. They need something that will pay their bills now. So when I found Empower, and I was lucky enough to be on Lisa Diane's list, actually, and then got through to Brian's link, and I joined, I didn't have any idea what I'd found. I'll be honest. I just paid my $25, okay? I thought the video was fabulous. I tried to buy everything. I bought the Inner Circle. Then when I tried to buy the Costa Rica, it wouldn't let me. I tried 5 times to buy the Costa Rica and figured out it had alerted the fraud here in Australia, and I had to ring my bank to lift it so I could actually purchase the Costa Rica. And then I didn't even know there was the 15K formula. Brian let me know, and then I bought the 15K formula as soon as I could. But even then, I just thought this might be a nice little feeder program, a way my team and I could, you know, bring in business without having to be available on the phone all the time. But then what happened over the last 4 months, I don't even have words for. If you've heard my video testimonial, you know how much this has changed my life. So for me, you know, when I hear Tracey earning 40,000 and, you know, 50,000. I mean, that's just amazing that can even happen in this shorter time with any company. But for me to be able to support my family again, that to me, that's priceless. And, you know, I can't go to the event. I would love to go to the event. I'll give anything to be able to go to the event. If you're on my team, go to the event. I hate saying for you guys to do something when I can't do it. And it's probably the only time you'll hear me say it, okay? But you need to get to this event, because I've seen what it's done, for example, like Justin's business and Tracey's business and everyone else who's been there. And it's the best thing that you can do for your business, so go. So I know that in regards to this situation, one day there will be a cure. One day there will be a cure, and when there is, I'll be at the next event. But in the meantime, I'm here on my mattress of power. I've got 2, okay? And we'll do whatever we can do with what we've got until that time. And I just feel grateful that such an opportunity like Empower exists, because if I can do it, when I'm on, you wouldn't believe the amount of medication I'm on. It's hard to even think I need 3 coffees to be able to get over the fog to do it. But if I'm able to make $10,000 or more a month with the medication I'm on, living with the pain I do, guys, you can do 10 times more than me. Because my main motivation is I want to feed my family. You know, I want to show my daughters that, you don't have to be a victim, you know, that whatever happens to you, you can still add value, you can still contribute. So for me, that's a pretty motivating force, you know. But to have the opportunity to do it here with Empower and to get to know fabulous people like all these guys here, and to have the people who have joined, it's just a dream come true. I'm lost for words. So all I can say, if you're not in, get in. This is not like everything else. Believe you me. It's unlike anything you've ever been part of before. And you can achieve your dreams too here. You can do it one step at a time. No matter what your challenge is, you can make it your reason to be successful. And you just focus, like Tracey said. Don't get distracted. Don't worry about the next, you know, a flavour of the month program that hits your inbox. Just make a commitment that you will make this work, that you will make it happen. Focus on the 2 a day, and eventually you will get there. And I can't wait to see all of you at an event one day. It will happen. In the meantime, it's great to be here, part of this hangout. So I think that's it for me before I get any more emotional.
Hey, no, it's great having you out. You know, I'm tearing up over here. I had to send an email out here telling everybody that you're live and they got to listen to it. I'm going to post this in the Facebook group and get everybody to spam it out there so that they can get. Because I want to talk about this here for a second. And so if you guys are in the Facebook group, I'm just posting some swipe out now. All right, so I just posted some swipe in the Facebook group. You guys can email out. Just be sure to change the links. And so you literally, you can't get up. And
no, I can get up. There's some people with nerve damage or sciatic nerve that can't. I'm lucky. The drugs give me function. But the problem is I'm relatively comfortable around the house. But if I try and walk for too long or stand for too long or sit for too long, the nerve sends a signal to my brain to shut my legs down and I collapse. But sometimes every day is different. So one day I could make a quick sandwich at the kitchen table and it's safe, or like last Wednesday, I can make that quick sandwich at the table and I spasm and collapse on the floor. It just happens like that. So, no, I can walk, I can stand, I can sit, but not for long at all, like very little time, and every time's different. And if it's escalated, no, I don't at all, but no, I do have function. I don't have spina bifida, but I do have...
No, I just talk. They know that that's what I say. I'm just like up on the spot to make up for what I don't.
I have a spinal cord injury. It's a spinal cord injury, and unfortunately where the damage is, it's got scar tissue on it, all lots of good stuff, and it just means I don't have the mobility I used to. So I can function around the house most of the time, but not all the time, and I've got to watch it. You know, it gets worse over the day. I'm better at this time, but then over the day, the pain gets worse and worse, and then I have to stop working. You know, I have to take the heavy-duty drugs to get on top of it again. Because even now here, just moving on a mattress, that irritates the nerve. It just irritates it. So I have a heat pack. Here it is, my trusty heat pack. It's worn to death to try and keep the inflammation down for as long as I can. So I usually work on this mattress with my laptop. And when it starts to hark up and I can feel the radiation getting worse, then I move to bed, lie on my back and use my laptop table. So usually that's how I sort of manage it, and then I just work until I can't cope with the pain, really. And then when I can't cope with the pain, I just take 2 endone for the breakout pain and rest it until the next day. So I've sort of figured a little routine to be able to do what I do, and it's just a pain management situation, trying different medication to block the signals that I'm going through. I'm still going through the process. I haven't exhausted all the pain management options to try and get as much function back as possible. But the reality is I've come to accept it. It took me a year, but yeah, I'm going to have to really wait for a cure, you know. And that may only be 3-5 years away.
And we should give money to charity or something.
Yeah, Spinal Cure Australia.
I'm going to send some money down to that just for you. But let's talk about this for a second. First of all, guys, if you're watching this, don't be a damn wussy. Seriously, I mean, you know, the excuses that I hear for, you know, I got a hangnail, Dave, and you know, it hurts a little, and I can't succeed on the internet, or I've tried for 5 minutes, and I'm really discouraged. Don't be a wussy, seriously. If you're listening to this, right? I mean, this is awesome. So I say give you a hand, give her a hand. We got everybody muted so you can't hear them clapping, but it's an amazing story. So you got in. Now, first of all, I know just from from chatting you an email, you've never, been able to make money without grinding. But I said,
absolutely.
Well,
I don't even want to just look, don't even get me started, Dave. I was a grinding queen. I was the queen of grinders.
Tell us about
I was Wonder Woman on a mattress.
Tell us what you had to do before, and what, obviously you couldn't do it anymore, but tell us what you had to do before, and then what you had to do here to get to a 6-figure income. Because, I mean, $13,000 a month is like $160,000 a year. I mean, it's a big income for most people. So, and it's going up. I mean, I fully expect you to be at $100,000 a month by the end of the year, no question about it. And so tell us, what have you had to do before, and what have you had to do here to make a 6-figure income?
Okay. Well, I guess, when I started as a newbie, like anybody else, didn't know a thing. Okay, so when I started with my first MLM, okay, I was a little bit fortunate because the system, I actually didn't recruit right away. I was with an old school MLM which had, nutritional products. So I actually had to build a customer base of about 80 plus customers before I could even begin building an organisation. So how I built my customer base, for example, is my partner would put out flyers because I couldn't. Then my disc would damage, but I could get out and about, just not every day, if you know what I mean. So my partner would put out flyers and, I'd be on the phone pretty much selling bottles of tea. That was bottles of tea. And then I would bring people from the phone book to build my customer base, okay? And I had telemarketing experience, things like that, so that helped, I think, for sure. It's better than having a door slammed in your face because I've done door-to-door sales too in my early 20s. But what happened was after I built my customer base, my upline had released a system to help us build an organisation. It had a lead capture page, all the bells and whistles there. And we actually sold a CD which explained the opportunity. So I didn't actually start speaking to people until they were a customer, okay, until they'd actually bought a CD from my site, okay. So I've never seen that again. I just really want to point this out because I've never seen another system until now with Empower where there's a low-cost product that you don't have to talk to any leads anymore. You don't speak to people until they're a customer or a team member. And that's pretty special, I haven't seen that again. Because I wonder if I had to speak to leads to bring them into my business at that time, I was on sickness benefits. Who would have joined me? Nobody would have joined me, I was a nobody. Who cares? So I didn't speak to people until they were customers, then they would come in. But the phone work, we'd have an hour sign-up call. Then there'll be a 2-hour enrollment call. Then there'll be another 2-hour tooling up call that will get them all organised with their products. Then there would be an action plan call. Then there will be once a month mentoring calls every single month. And I built my team in the UK because I decided to focus on the UK because I knew with my back I'd have trouble getting to events there too, and I just thought I'll build a team in the UK. So that's what I did, and I used to send them all off to what was called SDSs, and I'd be up at 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning doing mastermind calls. I mean, you name it. It just, all the work, the higher I got up the marketing plan, the more responsibility there was. Okay, so I had to keep on top of my customer base, keep my recruiting like 2 oars in the water, keep your retail going, keep your recruiting going. I mean, it was 14, 16-hour days. It was full on. Even after I retired from a traditional MLM, it was just like, wow, all I have to worry about is recruiting, But even then I still grinded. I used to set up people's Aweber. I used to set up people's systems, train people to set up people's systems, put systems in place to help train my team because there wasn't enough information on the back end of a program to help train my team properly. Not to mention I had numbers to make it easy for people to call me anywhere in the world. I had a British number, an American number, every number you could possibly imagine. I had it to make it easy for people to call me all over the world. So I had to be available, to take calls, obviously, from prospects with every other opportunity I was in, especially the high tickets. So when I came into Empower, and I'm getting told, I'll never forget it, Dave, it was on a training, and I think it was in May, and you said, if you're earning over $5,000 a month, you shouldn't be speaking to leads. I'm like, oh my, I've been speaking to leads even when I was making over $20,000 many years back. I've been speaking to leads non-stop. And then you just said it, I don't know what it was, I just thought, well, I'm just going to try it your way. And I said, you're making way more than me. I'm going to try it your way. I'm just not going to do it, okay? I'm going to take all my phone numbers off everything that I could. And I remember when I did it, I had a panic attack. Well, not real panic attack, but I had a little bit of a panic attack, and I put all my numbers back because I almost couldn't believe it would work. And I thought, no, don't be a wussy. Take the numbers out. So I took the numbers out, and then I let it go. And then I just started doing what you said, Dave. I mean, at that time, it was watching your 3 bonus videos. I just started signing up 1 a day. I've gotten over. I'm now aiming for the 2 a day, because I had a block about that, believe it or not. I thought I can't do 2 a day with my outs. That's what I thought. I thought part-time, I can't do 2 a day. I'll end up in hospital. And now I'm saying, no. I'm actually telling my partner, because I have to tell her, I'm saying, Nicola, no, I can do 2 a day, part-time. I just have to do more automated forms of marketing that don't involve time, and then it's only a matter of time. I'll be doing 2 a day, and it'll be easy for me too, and I won't be in hospital if I do it. So if anybody is thinking 2 a day is hard, let's all not think that way. Let's all think, no, it's easy. We just have to put little plans in place to make it easy, and we'll get there too. Okay, so I just started doing what you were telling me to do, and I wasn't on phone calls anymore. Oh my, I had more time with my family. I'm starting to I couldn't believe how quickly I started making money here. The freedom model says it all, and it's fun. So you can just focus on what gets results, work with your customers and your team. It's all good, and you're not a slave to your phone 14, 16-hour days. And to know that even once you're at the levels everybody else is at, that you can still sustain it, is amazing. And it doesn't exist anywhere else that I'm aware of. Does it? No.
Well, no. I mean, we invented this because of the pain of doing all this nonsense. And so Christine, I just think this story is so cool because so many people make such weenie excuses about why they can't do stuff, and it's just bullshit, truthfully. It's just pure nonsense. So any final thoughts? Actually, hold on a second here. I'm going to bring Tony out here. Tony, can you unmute here for a second and just come on out?
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. So now you've been around for a while, like I have. Different things, we've been some of the things together, and obviously we're going to bring you out a little bit more. But you, like me, have heard 8 million excuses, about why you can't, and they're funny. I mean, I actually had a guy I used to do, offline meetings in Alaska, and I used to call him every week and invite him to a meeting. This is back in the days when I still make phone calls. And I used to invite him every week to the meeting because he'd make up a new excuse. He was so serious about it, and they're the funniest things ever. But I mean, after hearing this, what's your perspective from just all the people out there that they try to come up with a reason, I would do it, but, I'm not crazy like that Dave Wood guy, or, my pinky hurts, what's your thoughts, man?
Dude, I am robbed of every excuse that I have ever had. Just listening to Christina's story, I mean, I'm sitting over here just applauding because this is an example of someone who just is not going to let any obstacles get in her way. And here's the thing. It's like she is the epitome of badassery. She is just a badass. And here's the thing. What I love about it is that everybody can do what she's doing.
Mm-hmm.
She has just chosen to say, I'm not going to allow these circumstances to keep me from getting the result that I want. But shame on us for letting smaller challenges than Christine's dealing with keep us from getting what we deserve in life. And I'm like you, Dave. I'm like, you say you've known people that have given all these excuses. I have been the guy. I have been the guy who's like, well, I want to make money from home, but I don't have a big personality like that guy, or I don't have a list, or I don't have a website, or I don't have a blog, or I mean, a few years ago, man, I was just a whining wuss bag. It was amazing how I let everything in my life be bigger than me. And the day that I just decided, you know what, enough. I'm going to start living my life on purpose instead of just knee-jerking my way through life. That's when I discovered my own badassery. That I get to be someone who actually lives life on purpose. And, yeah, but it's amazing the excuses that people, if people would spend 1/10 of the time on their business as they spend coming up with beautiful, creative excuses, people wouldn't need any convincing.
Well, that's it. And so, and it's just hilarious, when we look at this. And Christine, I want to talk about one more thing. I mentioned when you got started, I said just get a person a day, right? And you'll hit 10 your second, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, just stop, come on.
Yeah.
I've been around, it doesn't work like that. It can't work like that. And you were like, I mean, it was like day 59 or day 60, and it was like the last day. And it was like, you're like, okay, I'm going to try it out. And you were like at 9,000, and then
boom.
And what happened? It was like, we said get a person a day at $25, and that does not equal $10,000 a month. I mean, there's no way you can map that out. $25, that does not equal $10,000 a month. But turn up 60 days, and then what happened the very last day? What was your income, and then what did it jump to right at the last minute?
What happened was, it was actually the last week. Okay, I remember it. I listened to the interview you did with John Wells. Okay? I listened to that interview, and then I got inspired, because you see, Dave, I thought I had it in the bag on the Wednesday, and it was like, for me, Wednesday my time, and it was the Friday when the live stream happened that was going to be the end of the month. But then there were some order issues and all this other stuff, and I thought, oh no, and it was lucky because I spent all my work time Wednesday putting out an end-of-month promotion. I got the idea to do a promotion from the John Wells interview. And I thought it'll be fun. We'll have an end-of-month promotion. It'll be lots of fun. Because I thought I had it in the bag. And then I realised Wednesday night, I don't. I thought, oh my God, he's going to get on the phone with me and coach me on what I've done wrong. This cannot happen. I went crazy marketing, seriously. I took my medication like at 4 o'clock in the morning so I could get it out of bed at 5:30 in the morning so I could market. I even marketed on Endo. I didn't care. I would send out emails on the list builders, everything. I was just going nuts marketing. So you probably noticed a whole bunch of new people joined that week to make sure. And then what happened was, it was just like the Thursday. It started happening the Thursday night, which was like your Wednesday, from memory. And then I woke up in the morning, Friday morning, and I thought, oh, thank God, the 10,000's in the bag. Hallelujah, it's done. Then it was like, it just didn't stop. I was on a live stream with you, and I just kept seeing basic member, Costa Rica, Inner Circle, 15K formula alert. It was just like all these alerts for all the various products coming through over that whole entire 2-hour period. And I remember at 12 o'clock midnight, which was 3 o'clock for me, I think it ended up being over 13,000 by the end of it. I was exhausted. I was sick too. I caught a chest infection in May. I was just exhausted. I just went straight to bed. I just collapsed. I just went straight.
It was like 9, and then it jumped to like
boom. Yeah, like I buy $4,000 or something in the 48-hour period.
And so we're talking, and just as a perspective here, I mean, we've all been around network marketing, most of us here, for a while.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
I'm going to get a really interesting perspective here. Mark Paul, unmute yourself just real quick. Tell me when you can talk. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you. Mark, how hard is it normally, to make $10,000 a month in a network marketing business?
Yes. To break that amount, and here's what's funny. My story's a lot different, and I'll explain it here in a few minutes. But I've grown teams of over 100,000 on launches of, online-based network marketing companies. And, Dave, you and I found out we had a lot in common, and I think I broke 14,000 on day 42 with Empower Network, and it just blew me away. And I love it when I talk to you because you're asking me why am I not at 20,000 yet, and that's a damn good question because I should be at 30,000 right now. But, I resisted Empower Network for close to 3 months, just like a lot of other people may do. And before we go any further, I want to show you guys something here. I'm going to turn my audio off. Sorry about that.
Hey, I'm hearing you twice there.
But I want to show you guys something right here on your screen where you're watching this broadcast. I want to, right here, and you can see that, I hope, right there where it says register now, and I'm not quite there. Hold on.
Oh, I saw it.
There we go.
There's a button below the video.
The big button below the video that says register now, guys and girls. If you're watching this broadcast and you're not in Empower Network, don't do what I did for 3 months, because I'm literally 3 months behind because I discredited it. I said, shit, $25 for a blog, that's crazy. And then my great sponsor, Chris Campbell, one of the top earners in the company, called me up and basically said, Mark, you got to try this thing out. And I was like, oh, you're crazy. But I did it as a favor to him. So I did a small little promotion, a free promotion, didn't do anything paid, didn't go after my existing organization. I still haven't. I've built this from the ground up, folks. And I had like 11 signups immediately. And I said, whoa, what is this thing? When I stepped back, then when I realized what it was, I went in and saw your videos, Dave, both yours, Dave and Dave's videos. I immediately went all in. And, today on this broadcast right now, I want to welcome David Turner. I don't know you, David Turner, but I know you signed up tonight and you're watching live right now and we've never met. It's the newer person that comes in. David Turner, by the way, go all in. It's just a no-brainer. Grab your credit card, log back in, get Costa Rica Mastermind, 15K formula right in their circle. But it's just surrounding yourself with the right people. I've always said that, you are who you associate with, and you take the incomes of the 5 people you most commonly associate with, you add their incomes up, divide it by 5, that's what you make. Now, that's not to say you throw out your buddy who's down on his luck only making 20 grand a year, or your cousin who just lost his job, but you can change your association. You're watching this hangout right now, and look at the people to the left and the right of me. These people are making some serious bucks. And, Christina can't even get out of bed right now, folks.
I can get out of bed.
Well, you know what I mean. There's no damn excuse.
She says from a mattress, but I can get out of bed.
Well, right now, this minute, there's no frickin' excuses. That's the thing I'm saying, guys. I even used to make excuses. Every single person can succeed in Empower Network. Tony Rush put a post probably 2 months ago that was one of the most brilliant posts I've ever seen in our Inner Circle Facebook group, which you, as a new member, will have access to. Tony said, everybody always asks me, what's the secret?
I remember that.
And there are no secrets. The secrets are in Costa Rica Mastermind, the Inner Circle membership, and the 15K formula. There are no secrets. It's like Tony said. We hide nothing from you. And here's the challenging part for me is, I had an all-in today. I want to congratulate Sedan on my team. Surrounding yourself with a great team is one of the most important things. Tracey Walker has been instrumental in this, one of the best people in the industry, and we're not even on the same team, but I can call her up, get her advice. Tony, all these leaders, Dave, they're here not to steer you wrong. They're here to make you successful, whether they have a financial attachment to you or not. And for me, that was kind of hard to grasp. Being in this industry for so long, you're usually very protective of your own team. And, going over and above for your team, we do the same thing Tracey does. We have a little Inner Circle group that we have where you can ask questions and whatnot. But just the camaraderie of what we've got going on, Dave, it's almost like Imini. I know you know what that's like. Way back in the Amway days, there was a select group of people that got chosen to go to Dexter Yeager's house and mastermind. And this is like a worldwide mastermind with the motivation you need, but anything in the marketplace you want to know. I have people call me up, Mark, how do I get free traffic? And even if they don't own it, I say, watch the first 3 videos in the 15K formula. Well, I don't own it. Well, go buy it because it's right there for you and it's worth it. It's worth that entry-level price just for those first 3 videos. Well, you know, you make $1,000 a day. How do I do that? Well, you know what? The bonus video number 1 in Costa Rica Mastermind lays every single thing out for you. And here's the challenge. I hadn't even watched that video. I had one of my people come to me, call me at 2:30 in the morning. Her name was Sunita, one of my great friends, calls me, wakes me up. I answer my cell phone, thought it was an emergency, and she says, holy shit. And I'm like, what? She says, have you watched that first bonus video in Costa Rica Mastermind? I'm like, no, I haven't watched it yet. Why? She goes, it gives you everything. If we only had that one video in all of the Empower Network, that would be the one video. I mean, that just legitimizes exactly what Dave and Dave had created for us. And I've never been in anything, guys. I mean, I have a huge organization in another company, and I don't make the money right now that I make with Empower Network, being only about 120 days into this, and the residual income is incredible, along with the one-time. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. The button down below us right now, folks, honestly, you just got to click it, get yourself started, because you truly have people that are to my left, to my right, and myself that have no financial attachment to you, probably, that we care about your success. So why would we steer you wrong if I'm personally, you know, if you didn't get invited here by me? I'm telling you to still press that button. I got no reason to steer you wrong. You know, these guys are wild.
Well, there he goes. And, you know, hit the button. I think he was saying, "Don't be a wussy, just get in." Isn't this the funniest group of people? Just seriously, that you guys ever seen in network marketing? I mean, we're just a bunch of goofballs. Speaking of just goofy, let me bring out Justin Verrengia. Hey, Justin. There we go. Tony Rush. We bring Tony Rush out. What do you think? Hey, Tony. Hey, come on out here for a sec. You there?
I'm here, man.
Hey, you know, now you got an interesting story, and I mean, God, this month, I mean, you're if you don't hit 50,000, I mean, I think you'll hit 50,000 by the end of the month, by the end of the night. But I mean, I think that I don't even know where you're at. But you're like $500 away or something like this from 50,000. I mean, 50,000 a month. I mean, I know you've done that in a month before. You've been around for a while. But tell us your story. I mean, how did you get started here, and what happened? How have you made so much money? Tell us like the down and dirty secrets of what you've done to make 50,000 a month. With this $25 thing that we're all in.
Yeah, well, my story is a little bit close to Kevin Connects. If you guys were on the line when Kevin spoke a few minutes ago, the medium version of the story is that I used to be a grinder in the traditional MLM business model. So I was doing the home parties and drawing circles on the whiteboard in my living room and handing out samples and making a list of the 300 people that I've known, and so I did that whole thing, and I think the most I ever made in that model was probably about $3,000 in a month, which is barely enough to live indoors.
Well, it's better than I did for my first 3.5 years. So I think my best month was $3 a month. So.
And it works, but I was working my butt off, and anyway, when I ran into the top tier industry, I guess probably around 2001, the idea that hey, you can work in a higher ticket item and make this bigger upfront commission, and that's what people want. People want to make money now, not 5 years from now. So I sort of moved away from the whole. I'm going to make money over 3 to 5 years or whatever, and I started focusing on making money this month. So, and that worked pretty well, but I was still grinding. I was beating the phone at that point. I was probably on the phone 6 or 8 hours a day, and it was sprinkled throughout the whole day. But, if the phone rang at 8 o'clock in the morning, I would answer it. If it rang at 11:30 at night, I would answer it. I can't tell you how many times I've been sitting in, my wife has been sitting in a nice restaurant somewhere eating appetizers by herself, because I'm out in the lobby talking to some prospect. And these guys, that you see along the bottom of your screen here have all done the same thing. This idea that, I've got this prospect who has questions about the business, and if I don't take the call, then I'm risking losing the sale. And so here was the balancing act, was that I was making money, but I was talking to people about creating a life of freedom, but there was lots of kinds of freedom that I didn't have. In other words, I had the freedom to go and, fly first class, or I had the freedom to go take a nice vacation. And those are certainly freedoms that a lot of people want, but I didn't have the freedom to turn off my phone. I didn't have the freedom to let calls go to voicemail. I didn't have the, hey, I just got a little pop-up on my screen. Can you still hear me there, Dave? Yep. All right. Good deal. There's lots of different kinds of freedom. So I did not have the kind of lifestyle freedom that I wanted, and but I didn't really know the way out. I didn't want to go back to traditional network marketing model, where I'm earning a couple of bucks when somebody buys a case of juice or a case of vitamins, and at the same time I was starting to burn out. I was getting very close to that situation of, I've got to make the money, but there's got to be a better way. And I had already started dabbling in affiliate marketing about maybe a year and a half ago. And, really good products out there, but, they all paid about 25 to 50% commission. And a lot of times the product was only, maybe $50, you make $20 or something, which is, it was fun because it allowed me to kind of create some cash on demand, and I wasn't having to beat the phone to do it. So anyway, I was in a company a couple years ago when this crazy guy from Costa Rica got started, named David Wood, and the only reason I knew his name was because I thought I was doing pretty good in that company, and David Wood signs up, and David, I don't know if you remember this or not, but you blew right by everybody. You put in like 70-something people in 2 weeks with no phone calls. This was like 2.5 years ago, and I was like, man, this guy is insane. And just as it happened, I was sort of moving out of that company at the same time David was coming in, so we didn't have a lot of overlap, and I never got a chance to really hang out with the guy. But last November, I had a wake-up call. I was hosting a training call for the team that I had in my primary network marketing company at the time, and somebody asked a question about generating leads. How do you get lots of leads? And it was so embarrassing. I found myself giving the same tired old, rehashed, recycled advice that I've been given for like 3 or 4 years. And if you guys haven't figured this out, it's not 2001 anymore. It's not even 2007 anymore. If you're doing what you did even 3 or 4 years ago, you're going to be toast. Because the game changes so quickly. You've got to be involved in a community where people are talking about what's working right now. And so when I saw that David Wood was behind it, I thought, well, this will be great. This will give me an opportunity to learn a couple things about marketing, kind of sharpen my saw a little bit, to borrow that old phrase. And hey, look, it's got a little affiliate deal here. I can make a couple $1,000 if I send this out to my list. And so anyway, I did. I made a few commissions, and then I thought, well, maybe I'll buy a couple of ads. Maybe I'll use some of these marketing techniques I'm learning, run a couple of ads, and see how that goes. And either way, now follow with me. I'm still in my primary network marketing company, so I'm thinking all the leads that are coming in, I'm going to pitch them on my big top tier deal, my big $2,000 home study course, and then ramp them up into these thousands of dollar seminars or whatever. So anyway, strangest thing happened. Like, I didn't want to immediately introduce my leads to this other business. I wanted them to kind of cook a little bit in Empower Network because I wanted a good conversion rate. I wanted to get these $25 and $100 commissions. And so a few things happened. One of the first things that happened was that I hemorrhaged about $1,500 because I was not at the Costa Rica level. We didn't have the $15K at the time. But David Wood, you remember this? I let $1,500 go by me so fast it made my head spin, and I know better.
You were out one night, you weren't prospecting or anything, and you got 3 emails from me, like, all back to back. What did they...
Oh, dude, and the emails are just brutal. You know, the emails are like, you just lost a commission or whatever. You know, you need to go buy this product so you don't lose any more or something. But it was nuts. And I tell you, the only reason, I know the pay plan. I knew how the pay plan worked. But remember, you know, I'm beating the phone. I'm on the phone all the time with my primary network marketing company. The last thing I wanted to do was have to be on the phone again. And I did not believe. Now, guys, listen carefully, because this will cost you money. Your beliefs create your reality. And I don't mean that in any weird way. I'm just saying it's true. I didn't believe people would buy a $500 product without me having to call them up and put my arm around them and spoon feed them and walk them through it and make them feel good and do all this salesy stuff. And yeah, I came home and about $1,500 had just went by me like 90 miles an hour. And my wife is way smarter than me anyway, and she was like, "You're going to buy this thing, aren't you? You're going to get this Costa Rica. We're going to stop the bleeding here." So we got her to Costa Rica, and of course, when the 15K came out, we grabbed that quickly. But just to kind of hurry along with the story, by mid-December, you know, my top-tier business had pretty much dried up because it does that about every December. And yet, Empower Network was just cranking. I was at the point then, I think I had a couple $100 a day. When I say average, I mean like I had some days that were like 225. I had a few 125s, but I had some 475s. So I was starting to see this thing happening where it was growing, and it was growing in a range, if that makes sense, you know. And then, you know, by late December, I mean, all of a sudden we're making thousands of dollars a week in this little weenie $25 deal. The little 25, I thought it was going to be like a ClickBank thing or something, you know. So here I am, I'm making thousands of dollars more. I mean, I'm making more in December in Empower than I did in my big fancy top tier opportunity. Totally paid for my whole Christmas out of money that I created out of thin air with Empower Network, which, by the way, that's one of the things we talk about in the 15K formula is the ability to create cash on demand. So if you're not in the 15K formula, you got to get that. You know, so I was feeling really good about all that. I was really starting to question, you know, hey, I'm having fun. I'm having fun in the industry again. I'm not beating the phone. I'm not grinding like I used to. But I still couldn't see me just doing this. I don't know if I still, in some way, maybe I thought it was still going to be a short-term project. I hadn't spoken to Wood yet or Sharpe, so I didn't know what their intentions were for the company. So I didn't know if this was going to be like a launch-style thing that just kind of went away after a couple of months, or was it going to be a billion-dollar company? And anyway, my mom had been sick for a couple of years, and my mom passed away in January, which, you know, you only have one, and it takes a lot of wind out of your sails anytime you lose somebody close to you, especially your mom. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to hurry through this part because I've only told this a couple of times, and it chokes me up every time. But I was not emotionally equipped to get on the phone and talk to anybody about anything. But what I could do was I could log in a couple of times a week and get whatever email that David Wood had written and just change the link and blast it out to my leads. I did that like 2 or 3 times a week. And you know, it really saved my January because I literally did nothing in my primary network marketing business at all. I think my income in that month was, in January, I think I might have made $1,000 total in my top tier business that month because I just couldn't work it. I could not do what was required for me to make money. And so when I finally kind of, you know, spent some time kind of focused on myself and my family, and I kind of looked up, beautiful thing. The machine never rests. The Empower Network was cranking the whole time. I was seeing, at that point, $500, $600, $700, $800 days. And by mid to late February, I was thinking, you know what? I have Mickey Moused around with this thing, thinking it was going to be something that was just a nice little bonus. If I were to actually put my head down and put my blinders on and get my damn foot off the brake and actually do what I'm capable of doing here, instead of trying to split my time over here at this top tier thing, I believe this is another multiple six-figure income. And yeah, long story short, we did 34,000 in March. And from that day until this, the day I made the decision, I mean, it's been, my income ranges anywhere from $1,100 in a day to, I think I had a $4,100 day, one day this last week. So anyway, guys, I tell you, every time I tell this story, I feel like I have to pinch myself a little, because I walk around here in a total state of gratitude. I don't do crap. I'm getting a little bit around David Wood. He's starting to rub off on me. I basically just wake up and look at the numbers and send an email out, and I might make a little video. But, I mean, long story short, I'll close with this. I had a conversation with some other network marketers this past weekend. They wanted me to participate in a little mastermind group that they had on Facebook. I hear my family coming in the other room. They were, I didn't think I was going to last very long in that conversation, because it didn't take very long at all before you started hearing the same old bullshit that you hear when you get around these grinders. And all they do, and David, am I right? It's like, when you're a grinder, what you really want is you want to revel and wallow in your martyrdom. Yeah. You love to talk about how damn hard something is. Yeah. You love to talk about the struggle and how you're paying your dues, and you love to talk about how, you know, it's all going to pay off one day. And I tell you what, after about a day of that, it was all I could stand. I couldn't keep my mouth shut, because they were talking about how it's hard work, hard work. It takes a long time, years of persistent effort. And the one that really pissed me off was, you got to pay your dues. And I thought, my God, it is no wonder people stay broke in this industry, because they buy that kind of stuff, and they buy this idea that prosperity is supposed to be a struggle. They buy this idea that it's supposed to be hard, that you have to, like, there's some dues, some imaginary dues that have to be paid. And none of that's real. Every bit of that is just made up. And I learned something a few years ago that totally changed my life, and I want to offer it to the guys on the line tonight. It's this. When you hear somebody that's telling you how hard things have to be, all that is someone who experienced things as hard. And it's best not to take those people as your advisors. When people experience things as hard, then they turn around and sell that hardship to everybody else. Like, if it took them 10 years to get to $20,000 a month, well, their natural perspective is to turn around and tell everybody that it's going to take about 10 years. It takes hard, persistent work. And that's not true. This is not 1982. It's not 2005. Here at the Power Network, you don't even have to know what the hell you're doing. You know, I mean, literally, we've got people. I've got a guy on my team right now. He says, I don't even know what I'm doing, and I made $1,600 today. I literally don't know what I'm doing. Jean-Francois up in Canada's got a guy who made 2 sales his first day, and he said, I don't know what I did to make these sales. And it's the craziest thing to hear these stories of people that come on board here, and they don't know what they're doing, but they have enough sense to copy and paste, and they believe in themselves enough to just go all in, and all of a sudden, man, it just puts so much wind in my sails to see people who've never made a dime in this industry, never made a dime, and now all of a sudden they're having $200 days, having $500 days. For some people, and I'll close with this because I could just keep going with it, a lot of times I think there's a lot of big money earners in our industry that are starting to figure out that this is not about $25. Some people have maybe looked at Empower and said, well, I can't make money there because it's only $25. And, of course, they find out different. But let me tell you something, too, about $25. $25 is, for some people, just the ability to make $25 a day, that is life-changing. Because it buys back all that belief that they gave up over the years, wondering if they had what it takes to make money. You know, or people that have invested years and energy and emotion, and they've been made fun of by people who said, you're not going to do it, or I can't believe you joined one of those things. And they held on just long enough to find their way to Empower Network, And all of a sudden, I mean, $25, it might not seem like a lot of money, but if you can get somebody making $25 a day, it just puts so much wind in their sails. It gives them back all that belief and vindication that, yes, I do have what it takes to make money. And then all of a sudden, we see those people very quickly go from $25 to $100 a day. You're talking $100 a day, you're probably talking about somebody this business is paying their 2 biggest monthly payments every month with just $100 a day. Yeah. And then when they start getting to $500 a day and $1,000 a day, that's just rock star money. That's just it starts really getting good. So anyway, man, I keep going, but I love this company. I love all we stand for. I love the culture that we're creating here, and I just love these stories, man. So David, back to you, man.
Hey, well, this is awesome, man. It's great to have you on. And it's just another story. It's just you don't have to be a grinder. And I want to play off this subject a little bit with our next person we're bringing out. The only unfortunate thing about having this many people is, we all talk for 8 hours. I mean, it's just like, I just want to say for 8 hours, just get in. Don't be a wussy, just join. But I want to bring out Justin. So, Justin, if you could unmute yourself here. Now, Justin, he's another one of these, crazy guys that has a hot wife. Doesn't make sense when you look at him. You're like, come on, but he lives in Costa Rica. He's actually about a 30-minute flight from me. You can pop on a plane for like $80 and fly across. And the reason I want to bring him up is this whole concept of it's a lot easier than you think. And a lot of people, they're going through this struggle, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. You don't need to struggle. Struggle is for people that don't believe it's easy. That's it. And the second that you start believing it's easy, things change. So here's what I want to point out about Justin, okay? Last month was his best month ever. He made about $7,000, right? Best month ever. This month is also his best month ever, and hold on, I'm going to get some hardcore stats from, so I'm not making something up here, Justin. So this month is also his best month ever, and Justin has made $25,942. So his income went in 30 days from $7,000 to $25,942 in 30 days. So I can't really say much other than that's badass. But talk about this. I mean, what happened, Justin, that made it to where you went from, first of all, 7,000 was your best month, but then literally 30 days later, you go from 7,000 to 26. Oh, now he's gone. Hold on a second. Let me Skype this guy. He'll be back on in a second here. If he doesn't pop up, we'll bring Mr. Wells out. I think there you go. So Justin, he's got a crappy internet connection too because we both live in the jungle in Costa Rica. But talk to us, buddy. You there?
Yes, I am here. Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can't see you right now, but that's cool. Just talk.
Okay, it should be loading. My internet sucks. Wow, I just got disconnected. I saw my email. I made a Costa Rica $500 sale. So thank you, Dave. Thank you, all the leaders here. I appreciate everyone coming together to help everyone.
Is it just me, or can you not hear him again? Can't hear him? Hey, Justin, if you can hear, you need to come back on again. Can't hear you. Hold on. Let me message him on Skype. We got these squirrels in the internet. Now, a lot of people are like, well, yeah, of course they're successful. They have all this great technology. No, not really. Dave Sharpe actually came down here when we launched the Power Network. We filmed these videos, and he couldn't believe my ghetto office. I mean, I've got a desktop computer now, but when I first for years, I've made all my money from like a laptop that I won in a contest, and before that, I had like a $500 laptop all the way through making like $50,000 a month. It doesn't take a lot. You don't need a lot. So Justin, here you got cut off, and I'm going to mute myself out. Take it away, bud.
Cool, man. Appreciate it very, very much. My story, I'm one of those grinders, just like Kevin and Tony, and most of the stories. Christina, I love your stuff. My God, you just inspire me. Thank you. Awesome. Just I've grinded it out for too many years. You know what I mean? David met me, and David's like, you know what, Justin? He's like, I saw some of your videos, He's like, how much are you making? I'm like, a few $1,000s. He goes, that's it. He goes, $100,000 a be making $100,000 a month. And I just looked at him and kind of chuckled, like, $100,000? I can't even get to $5,000. You know, I'm kind of at that $2,000-$3,000 mark. And David said, well, what are you doing? And we did this coaching session. It's in the Inner Circle. If you haven't listened to it, you should listen to it. It's called How to Make $1,500 a Day Blogging. And at that time, I was making about $5,000 a month. But basically, David told me two things. He told me, stop prospecting. It's a bunch of horse shit. And stop wasting your time doing three-way calls for your team. You're really hurting them. You're not helping them. And I'm like, I was just puzzled. I'm like, what do you mean? That's all I've been taught to do for 6 years. I get on the phone, make 1,000 phone calls, you know, for 20 hours until I pass out. And that was kind of my life. And I was able to recruit a lot of people because I'd make 1 million phone calls. That wasn't the problem. The problem was I had no life. I mean, I can travel the world, but if I'm on a phone call all day, I mean, it kind of defeats the purpose, right? David, by following the instructions that David would, following my 8 core commitments, cutting out the bullshit, you know, the three-way calls, you know, the live prospecting, because honestly, you can pay someone $3 in the Philippines, right? Or you can pay someone $8 in the United States to do that for you. So all I did was I focused on blogging. Why do I focus on blogging? We have a blogging system which kicks ass. So here's what I did. I decided to take my blog, justinverrengia.com, toss it.
It's the Costa Rica internet again, so he'll probably be back in a moment and get kicked off and have to come back on. That's a great you know, picture to freeze on, though, isn't it? Just looks hilarious. But I'll wait for Justin to come back on because, you know, this is a really common thing with people, guys, is people believe that this huge amount of money is difficult. And because they believe it's difficult, I think that he just came on to the new thing. So, you know, because people believe it's difficult, they make it hard. Like they add in extra steps. You know what I mean? They add in 18 extra steps that don't need to be there because they think it's hard. You know what I mean? They think it's so difficult, and that's why it's difficult. So Justin, you're in the middle of talking, man. So I don't know if you can talk this time, but if you can, take it away. I think he just got booted out the second time. Come back again. Anyways, let's move on to Mr. John Wells here. And he's been sitting here patiently for you know, a couple of hours. And Tony just said I've done about $1,700 during this event. Oh wait, we got Justin back on, so we're gonna try in case he can't have our pen. So sorry, John, we have to put it off for a second here. Wait, Justin, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm back. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah. So this is what his internet is like, and he's made $25,900 this month. So continue on with, you cut out the three-way calls, you stop with your blog, and then you froze like this and vanished. Tell us, you know.
Yes, I started following the 8 core commitments that we learn when we go through the basic training. I started blogging every day with my Empower Network blog. That's the secret. Most people won't blog every day. But I decided to blog every day with my Empower blog, and now I'm getting more traffic than I've ever got. I get 1 to 2 sales every day from blogging. It's free stuff. I just started doing some paid advertising like this month, literally, and a lot of it hasn't even started yet. It'll start next month. So a lot of people thinking, do you need to, you know, have $1 million in the bank? Do you have to be Chuck Marshall or Max Eiden with a big list? It's a bunch of bullshit. You just need to work. You need to stop complaining, and you need to change your focus, because here's what happened. I went to the event, and I decided to make a decision, and that decision was to be all in, not just financially, you know, by committing myself, by purchasing the products, but spiritually, committing to my own belief system, because David taught me that the only reason I think 2 a day was hard at the time was because I believed it was hard. Now I believe it's damn easy, and guess what? It's the easiest thing I've ever done. I'm programming my mind to believe 11 a day is easy. Why? Because it's a decision, and it's a choice, and it's the power of your belief. And that's the power of us as creators, co-creators, as human beings. So listen to David's audio he just created. He just did that like last Monday. Listen to that every day for 21 days. Your mindset will shift. You'll start manifesting miracles in your life. Just like I have. I went from grinding it out for years to breaking through, and we're just scratching the surface. So I just want to thank you, David, and thank Mr. Sharpe, and thank all the leaders here. I really appreciate everything you guys do. You make it too easy to make money. Making money online will never be this easy. Because you guys are badass, and I couldn't expect more from a company. So just thank you, brother.
Hey, not a problem. Well, it is easy. And by the way, just I got to put a little interruption here. Tony Rush, congratulations, hit 50,000 this month. We need to spam Facebook with that. Now we've got 50,000 a month earners this month, guys. 5. That's like $600,000 a year or more. 5, from this little $25 thing. I mean, it's completely retarded. It's so ridiculous. You got to be on the phone all day doing 8,000 home meetings every 4 minutes to make, 5,000 a month normally, so congrats, Tony. How's it feel to make 50,000 a month here with all your hard work and your prospecting and your home meetings that you've been doing? And I know you chased your grandma for a month, and she finally got amped. You called her 4,000 times and gave her a video, followed up 6 times, and she got in, so you stopped bothering, so she can help you get to the the 50,000 a month mark. But how's it feel to be a 50,000 a month earner here? What's it like?
That's pretty badass. It's certainly a lot different than it's a lot different than what I thought I was getting into back in November, isn't it? I thought I might make a couple $1,000s here. Hey, by the way, congratulations to Pam Lawson. She was actually she went all in tonight and got her Costa Rica and her 15K formula, and she even sent me a nice note here that says, let me read it to you real quick. Okay, Tony, I'm all in. I'm looking forward to working with you, and I hope this puts you over the 50K mark for the month. So she must have been looking over our shoulder tonight. Thank you, Pam. Congratulations to you.
Hey, Pam, congrats. Welcome to the All-In Club. That's awesome. Well, look, cool. I mean, 50,000 a month, so, it's just gangster. Guys, we got people breaking through all the time. The goal here is to put power into the hands of the people, to make real money, but to be able to do it fast. And that's exactly what we did with Justin. This is what I want to point out with Justin, guys. And here's let me tell you this from what I saw, because a lot of people are like, okay, now he's succeeding. What's the secret? It's what people always do. It's like, okay, what's he really doing? And they're sneaking around on his blog, like looking for something that literally it doesn't even exist. It's not there because there's no secret, right? But this is what I saw from my perspective, somebody who's seen a lot of people break through and succeed. He came to my house because he's, like an $80 flight away. So I was like, come hang out. We're going to go eat raw food and chill together. And I think that he couldn't believe how little I worked. Like he wasn't, sometimes to be fair, I go through phases where I get creative and I'm putting together infrastructure stuff or whatever. I'll work all day and night for a week or whatever. But it's not all the time, right? It's like I'm setting up a process and then it's there and then I don't touch it, right? But he was here and he was like, what? Because I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I got a blog. And so I pull out a camera, and it's like I put it on, and I talk for a few minutes, and then I upload it. I don't edit it, and then I hit post and email a list, and then I'm like, okay, let's go to the beach, right? And he came to my house, and he was looking at this, and he's like, you gotta be shitting me, right? So he started believing it, right? But this is what I saw. He started believing. He didn't see me take a phone call in, I think he's here for 4 days. I think I took, no phone calls, right? And he's like, you gotta be shitting me, right? So you come down, right, Justin? You're like, you're messing around. You're messing with my brain here. Stop, And then, you almost drowned. That story's on the front of the blog, But here's what I saw: is people go through a moment in their life when a shift happens. And hopefully, you don't have to almost drown in order to just make a decision to stop being a wussy. Right? And to start believing in your dreams, right? This is what all you got to do. This is all you got to do, is you got to start believing in yourself and act as if it's real, right? But here's what I saw. I saw a guy who thought it was hard because of his experience, who left my house believing it was easy, and the next month he made, $26,000 from us. working no harder than he did the month before. And everybody goes, you must be working tons harder than you did before. I don't think so. No. It's because it's no harder work making $50,000 a month than it is making $5,000 a month. In fact, usually it's harder to make $5,000 a month than it is to make $50,000 a month because you think that it's harder. So that's what I tell guys. Just believe that it's easy. Get 2 a day, and you say, well, I can't. Well, believe that you can. First, you believe it's possible. Then you believe that you can do it, and then it happens. That's the order that it happens. So right now, if you believe that it's possible, it's a good step. Next, you need to look at yourself and say, if Dave Wood can do it, I can do it. If Tony Rush can do it, I can do it. If Christina Munoz can do it, I can do it. If John Wells can do it, I can do it. If Tracey Walker can do it, I can do it. If Kevin Neck can do it. If Mark Hall can do it, I can do it. If Mike Hans can do it, I can do it. Right? That's the order, if that makes sense, guys. You got to believe you can do it. So next person I'm going to bring out is John Wells. Now, he's been sitting here quiet the whole time, but John is one of these guys, like, you know, I mean, he has a funny story, but you know, I don't even know where you're at this month, John, as far as income goes. Can you unmute yourself, though? Can you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. Where is this? Is John? Well, so you're at like almost $12,000 this month. You're $11,000. I think it's the first month you've actually gone and you've gone over, you know, you've gone over 10,000. I didn't check last month, so I don't know for sure. But you're like 11,669 is where you're at right now.
Yeah.
So first of all, congratulations.
Yeah, I did it last month too. After your Inner Circle interview, that's when it took off for me. Like I was only like at 7,000, and then after that interview, I just got on my computer and said, you know what, I can do it. And all of a sudden, I hit 10, and now I'm consistent, and I made 11, almost 12,000. But I also sold some other products on the blog, which made me another 4,000. So I made 15 grand just from Empower Network because using the blogging platform. So not only can you make money from this system, but if you have other ideas, you can use the same platform to market whatever you want to, because with Empower Network, there is no conflict of interest. You can promote whatever you want and make money. That's as simple as that, you know. And that's what's great about Empower is there's not restrictions. You can go in other companies, they won't allow that. They won't show disclosures. They won't do anything. If you try to market one thing, you're done. They'll take your downline. But here they don't do that, and you have so much freedom here to make a lot of money, and it's 100%. There's no one that's going to pay you the way we're getting paid, and it's easy. I mean, it shouldn't be hard to get to a day at all. I mean, all these guys here are doing it. I don't see why you guys can do it, but you guys have to stop looking outside for other sources when all the training you need is inside the products. You got to stop going outside, asking other teams, what do I need to do? Is this working? Is this working? Stop. You got to stop. You got to go inside and get the products. If you don't have it, then you need to go sell something and go get the products. That's the first thing you need to do is get your education.
Wait. Hold on. John, just stop for a second here. You need to sell some of the products. Now, let's be real here. What did you have to do to, you know, you came in and you bought everything, but what did you have to do to get in Empower Network and buy all the products? I mean, what did you do?
I sold my TV. I sold, like, a lot of things. I still don't have a TV today. So even though I want an Apple TV, I still haven't hooked it up. But, you know, I think a lot of the stuff around us, there's a lot of distractions. And I believe even Facebook could be a distraction. You guys have to really focus on what you really want in life. Just like Tracey Walker said, it's all energy. You have to first believe in yourself. And if you're playing around with this business as it's $25, you're going to get paid like it's $25. But if you go all in, you have that commitment, you decide, and you made that decision. So when you talk to someone, you sound more confident. You know what you're doing, because you can't just say, like you, David, you say, don't buy the product because I don't have it yet. Once you tell your customer to do that, once you go and buy it and say, hey, go upgrade, they're not going to listen to you because you're already forcing them not to buy stuff when they should already be buying the products they need. So if you're going to tell people that, you need to go figure it out and go get the products, because that's what the training is going to help you. It's going to help you move up. You know, you don't need anything else. If you don't have any internet marketing experience, this is it. They do all the selling. I haven't created my own funnel. I don't create my own capture pages. I don't try to go create my own sales presentations. I use the system, and that's what you guys need to do is use the system. Stop complaining if it doesn't work. If something doesn't work, try something different. If that doesn't work, then you know, hey, that type of marketing doesn't work, so I got to try this. But, you know, bottom line is you got to blog. I mean, that's how come I have, I think, 730 articles on my site, on my Empower blog, is because I listened to Justin. I'm like, man, if that guy's just blogging, I can do it too, you know what I mean? So I just got aggressive with it and just started blogging as much as I can every day, non-stop. I mean, you got to do it till your fingers bleed. If you're sitting on Facebook playing around, you're not working because you're typing and chatting with people. All those words that you chat in a day on Facebook, how much content could you put on your blog in a day? You know what I mean? I mean, just for wasting an hour chatting with someone online, that's probably like 1,000, 2,000 words you probably put there. That's like 4 articles you could have put up. Let's stop that kind of crap and put it on the Empower blog.
You know, John, talk to me for a second here because, I mean, 11,000 something this month, and I think you'll hit 20,000 by the event. I think if you don't hit it in August, I think you'll hit 20,000 a month by September. What were you doing, like, for work, you know, before you joined Empower Network? Like, what was your profession? You know, obviously you have to be a professional. You know, you were probably, like, in law school or something, you know, or, a lawyer. What did you do?
Well, I'll tell you guys my recent work, but before I was in the real estate market, I've been in sales all my life. It's just when the real estate market crashed in like 2007, that's when I lost everything, and that's when I went homeless. And I realized, you know, I saw a lot of kids making, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40 grand a month and, you know, doing loans for homes. But that just went down the water, and that's when I went broke, went homeless. I came to Las Vegas. I was sleeping in my car, but I never got a ticket like you. But I was sleeping in parks. I didn't get caught. But I came to Las Vegas, and I just started going on the streets, and I was looking for a job. I was hungry. I didn't have a choice. I was walking around. First place I went was on the Strip. And I was walking around, and I was like, how are you guys, you know, I want a job. I want to make money. I don't want to beg. I need a job. And they spoke Spanish. So I'm like, damn it. So I walked around, and I finally found someone that actually spoke English. And I was like, okay, I want a job. It's like, yeah, okay. And then put on a shirt, and I put on the shirt, and it says girls, 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 right? So so I had one of these shirts, and I had these cards, and I'm like, you know what? And then you got to do a little flippity, snappity thing, and you got to pass it out to these people walking. And I did that for a while, but I didn't have a choice because I'm a person that just goes out and does something and takes action. I don't make excuses. I go and do it because I have to. But there's a lot of people that complain they don't have a job. It's because they're lazy. They don't want to go do it. And then when they get empowered, they expect everything to be easy, but they don't go out and do the work. You tell them to do something. The next day, they don't do it. You know, you've got to do the work. You know, you got to stop being lazy, get on the computer, and move those fingers. You know, if you ask me how I do it, I wish I could stick my hands through this computer and just grab your hands and make you do it, but I can't, you know? So it's like you got to do the work, and you can't be lazy, and you got to avoid the distractions and, you know, make something happen, because what we have here, I mean, if you guys don't know what momentum is, it's going to happen, and you're going to miss the boat, so you've got to share it. If you don't know how to get leads yet, share. That's part of the 3 phrases in our blog daily: tell others and get money. Second part is telling others. You have to tell people. Like, if you don't have a list, go tell people. Like he says, you don't have to. You need to tell your list. Your list could be your Facebook friends. Don't be shy about it. Don't be embarrassed. We are probably the best company you will ever be in, and we're all making money. You know, just like when I was in Atlanta, there was like 1,200 people, right? They asked how many people made money. Like over 95% of the people stood up. And what that means to you is everybody's making money, so why be ashamed of something that's putting money in your pocket and everybody else is making money? I mean, a lot of people need this, but if you don't say nothing and your mouth isn't open, they'll never know. So you got to learn to share it, even though you don't have a list, and don't be shy about it. There's always like reverse marketing, like create something like a blog post talking about what people are searching, like read your friends and what they talk about, and then write a blog post based on what interests your Facebook friends are talking about and put it on a blog. Don't pitch a product, but you could force people onto the blog, and then they'll click the banner to sign up without even telling them. So, there's ways around it without trying to worry if you're bugging them about signing up for a business, because you're saying, hey, check out Lindsay Lohan hanging out on this boat. Or here, look at Paris Hilton. She's a DJ now. Like, really? Come on. She's a DJ? Like, really? So, just talk about interesting stuff and get them on the post and get them to opt in. That's it. Once they opt in, David Woods will do the magic. Just like Tony Rush. He has some magic in his background right there, right? Just do the magic. Yeah, I love magic. But, all the magic happens once they go through that funnel. You don't have to do anything. Just follow the system, the 8 core steps, log daily, and get money. That's it, really. That's all I can say. But
So I want to. So you got in, and you were one of these guys in Vegas with the cards, standing on the street corners, like blocking people as they walk by and give them the cards. He's got like a quota, to pass out these little, the girls card.
Yeah,
that's almost better than like me working at Greenpeace. It's a better story. You know what I mean? It's like the homeless guy who's passing out women cards in Vegas. Got on the internet and is making $12,000 a month blog. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting with it. So, just some perspectives here. I've been around for a long time, and I've never heard a story like that ever in a company before. The guys who are succeeding, they're like these stuffy type guys. Tony, have you ever heard, Kevin, you ever heard stuff like this? To Tony, ever? You've never heard that? Mark, have you ever? He's making $12,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, Christina, have you, in all your years, you've never heard of anything like this? He gets in, he's like, sells his TV, you know what I mean? And we tell him to blog, and so rather than being a weenie, or rather than being an asshole, which is, we all have a little asshole inside of us occasionally, you know what I'm saying? We all got one. And we like to show the world, you know what I'm saying? Oh, well, I'm good, what's the secret? And he's like, well, he tells me to blog, so he goes and he blogs, and he's homeless, and he's living in an apartment or whatever. He sells his TV to get in, and now he's making like $11,800. I've never heard of anything like this, and so all I'm saying is, okay, look, guys, just for a second here, ex-homeless Greenpeace guy, right? Woman with spinal disease who can't stand up at least all day. She can stand up, as we've heard multiple times today, but she can't, she'll collapse in her living room, from pain. Porno card guy in Vegas, guy who, is not making, he's always struggling, grinding on the phone all day to make a few thousand a month. Also kind of a weirdo in Costa Rica with long hair and a hot wife. Doesn't make any sense. Who top tier guy, more traditional guy who's built big teams, right? And then we haven't talked to Mike Hobbs yet. We'll bring him out. And then we got Tony Rush. Look at this people, and guys, this is, people say, oh yeah, that's your only earners you got in Empower Network. Guys, we had 41 six-figure earners this month. Last month we had like 23, and so 18 new six-figure earners this month. Right, 8 months in, 18 new ones, 18 people who've made over $8,000 a month, 8 months in. You know what I mean? So stop being a pussy, just get in, right? So next person we'll bring out is Mike Hobbs, because I've known Mike for years. Like I got online, I was marketing, and he was like, Dave, I'm going to join your, team in this little thing. And I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. So he came in, was in for a few months, and then he's like, this is Sweeney, and he quit. To go do something less wussy, because they didn't pay didn't exactly have the commissions flowing, right? But, you guys are doing well, in Empower. You've got multiple things going, lots of incomes, and, that's one thing. People can market whatever they want. You're not locked in, because I believe people are more beautiful when they're free. I believe people are more loyal when they're free. People always come back when they're free, but you're the guy that says, hey, go do whatever the heck you want. But the thing is he's making a lot of money here too, and on the leaderboards for the contest constantly that we're having for the 20,000. But Mike, you've been around for a while, you've known me for a while, and what's your perspective on what we've got here, and really how easy it is, how simple it is for somebody to come in and make money like this? What's your perspective on it?
Well, I mean, I've been in this industry for full time for about 5 years now, since 2007. And one of the biggest things that I've noticed with Empower Network is you can literally sell this product to anybody. Okay, literally anybody in the entire industry, network marketing, direct sales, whatever. Now, I just wanted to quickly clarify. Can you guys hear me? Because I see.
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Okay, I saw John's picture there. All right, cool. But basically, you can make money in any industry, any product, any network marketing company with Empower Network, and you can sell it that way. So if you have another company and you're actually teaching them how to market, what I've been doing lately is, I teach my team that I'm blogging every single day. So I'm selling the $25 product like clockwork. I mean, it's just literally every single day people are buying the product because I'm just telling people what I'm doing. So I blog daily. I tell them how to blog daily, and they just buy the product. It really is the simplest sell I've ever been in this industry. I've ever had in this entire industry. When we first got in, and I think it was in December, I was actually in Iraq. Okay, I was deployed in Iraq in December and I got back in December, but we actually joined Empower Network while I was gone. Okay, and then we sent out a couple emails and literally made over the next 2 months, I think it was like 2 months, we made about like 30-something grand from Empower Network and I wasn't even on the phone. I didn't make one phone call. In fact, I don't even answer my phone anymore, by the way. I don't even answer it at all. I mean, if they're not programmed in my phone, I do not talk to them. I just don't answer, and I don't even call people back. I mean, I know that sounds mean. I mean, but I don't. Okay, I'm not a phone service. I'm not a telemarketer. When my previous company that I was in with Justin, Verrengia, I'm still in that company. I'm doing really, really well with it still. In that company, I've recruited, 140 personals in 6 months with 0 phone calls. Okay. I know how to recruit on the internet, and it's all through blogging. It's all through, social media and things like that. And the Empower Network blog is the easiest thing you can literally plug your team into. I don't know why people have such a, they're just kind of cutting it down. A lot of companies are like, oh, don't use Empower blog. It's all a money game. But the bottom line is it's not. Okay, if you want to make money in this industry and you want your team to succeed in whatever company that you're in, you need to plug them into Empower Network and not be embarrassed about it and not tell people that it's a money game, because honestly, even if it was a money game, it's actually a pretty good, money game, and you actually get some awesome products. So yes, plug your team into Empower. I love it. We're making a lot of money. We have systems that, I've made, I think with the system that we're in this last month, we've made over $80,000. And all I'm doing is teaching the entire system how to blog daily. Okay? So they're all blogging every single day about the products that we're in, the systems that we're in, the primary companies that we build, and we have like 5 or 6 income streams all promoting Empower now. So it's really cool. I love the system that you guys put together.
Well, that's it, and I just want to point that out to everybody watching this, is that, people are just free here. I've been in a lot of things where they're like, oh, God, you can only have one income stream because, if you have any more, Satan will appear in your window with a pitchfork and slay you, because you're being evil, I mean, isn't it true, Kevin? You know what I mean? Like, there've been people on here, we've had incomes, taken away and stuff for bullshit, you know what I mean? For doing nothing, But people are free here to do whatever they want. But what we're finding is, over time, we're just building this massive, loyal group of people because people have never made money like this before. I mean, I'm looking at it, and I'm amazed at how much people are making, and I created it. You know what I mean? But the goal here, guys, and I want to talk about this here for a minute. I want to talk about, everybody watching, I want to share this bigger vision with you guys because, with the leaders we got on here, Christina, thank you for hanging out this whole time. You're just awesome, and Kevin and Mike, Tony, Justin. I can't even tell if you're still there because you keep getting booted off, And John Wells, you're just so badass, it's unbelievable. I mean, the porno card guy in Vegas. And I know that's derogatory towards the professional card passer out or whatever they called you, but, it's just fun to say. We're all making lots of money. There's 41 six-figure earners this month. Everybody in our top 100 people, everyone in our top 100 has made over $2,500 this month. I mean, that's an average American income. Everyone in our top 100 has made that or more. We've got this month. Let's see, 65 people have made over $5,000. I mean, that's $60,000 a year. But guys, the vision is much bigger than this. A lot of people, they launched it. We came out our launch month. We just blew up, and they're like, oh yeah, they'll be gone tomorrow, right? And then we had some, struggles for a moment there, and people were like, oh yeah, they're out. They're going to be out of business in a month. I told you so, right? But then we bounced back from the struggles, had some more struggles, and they're like, okay, now I told you so, right? But then we came back. And then it's been like this, bam, 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 and we just keep increasing in growth. Here's a bunch of guys who say, they say shit and fuck in the videos, and whatever they want, We got professional people, and we got people that are like, well, I would never swear, and then they're blogging on, the blog too, and they're saying what they want to say. But we got people who are doing what they want, saying what they want, acting like they want, be themselves for the first time in business ever, right? And it's just the start. Now imagine this for a second, guys. This last month we created, I think I said 18 or whatever it was, like 18 six-figure earners, which is more than I thought we'd create, right? I mean, that's like one every little bit more than one every 2 days. I mean, this is every 2 days we're spitting off a six-figure earner here. And guys, it's a bigger picture than that. Because imagine being able to create a six-figure earner every day, and that's not even the goal, because 6 figures is weenie. Honestly, it's a good start. You're like, I got 6 figures. But then you get around Tony Rush, and you can't even buy Tony Rush's toilet paper for $10,000 a month. I mean, you get spoiled with these fancy commissions, and you got to get to 1,000 a day. You just got to get to 1,000 a day, because it's not any harder than making 10,000 a month. So my vision is not to create a six-figure earner every day, or 5 of them or 10 of them. My goal is simple. It's by September, we want to be creating a new 30,000 per month earner, a new 30,000 per month earner, literally every single 24 hours, new 100,000 a month earner every 7 days. Now imagine that, guys, all over the world you have the ability to work this. Everybody should be blogging about their business anyways, right? Imagine being able to create a new 30,000 a month earner every 24 hours. And then half of them, we recruited the whole porno card guys in Vegas, and their whole team's making 30,000 a month. And then we've got the doctors and the lawyers, and they're making 30,000 a month. I mean, Justin Verrengia, he's making more than most doctors do in profit. You know what I mean? Hanging out in Costa Rica, doing whatever the hell he wants all day. He didn't go to college because he realized probably early on that it was bullshit, like I did, right? He's just making the money, right? So guys, the vision is much bigger than that. It's much bigger. And I'm telling you something, your talents are worth a lot more here. I mean, I could go through this list of people. We've got people who literally have done absolutely zero work in Empower Network for the last 6 months who are still making $20,000 a month. And they've done nothing. And it's cool, because now we've got a story of a guy who's literally done nothing for 6 months, right? Literally nothing, because all of his focus is somewhere else, and he's still making $20,000 a month, right? He's still making $20,000 a month. It's unbelievable what we've got here, guys, so don't be a wussy. Just get in, hit the button, and buy. And if you're in, here's my admonition for you guys. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go around and get final thoughts from all these people. I know this is what you're doing. You're looking at this and you're saying, it can't be that easy. Come on. Yes, it is. Right? I remember hearing something a long time ago that was kind of a funky saying, but I want you to hear me out for a second. Somebody said, Dave, just because it seems too good to be true doesn't mean that it isn't. And this is one of those cases here, right? Just because it seems too good to be true doesn't mean that it isn't, right? Because people have never made money like this. I've never seen people make money like this. I had a vision of helping people create money, but I wasn't expecting it to work as well as it works. It works better than I thought that it works. We've got people succeeding where it makes no sense. I mean, I get people who watch, here, I want to talk about this here for a second, John, because you're a smart guy, too. I mean, people see you and they're like, they get mad. But this way, my brother heard that interview I did with you, and he got infuriated and mad, because he's like, it can't be that easy. But what happens is that when you believe that it's easy, and you believe in what we're doing, it works. Like we say that it works. Justin's proof of that. John's proof of that. Tony's proof of that. He's not prospecting, you know? He's not an internet guy. I don't even know if he knows how the technology. I don't even know if he can spell technology, right? So it doesn't matter who you are. You're welcome here, right? So don't be a wussy. Just get in. So what I want to do is get final thoughts from everybody. All right. So we're going to start just over here. You know, we have these little photos of it. So Christina, you can unmute yourself here and just give your final thoughts to people who are watching this live stream.
Can you hear me? Hello? Yep. Excellent. Final thoughts. Well, again, something happened yesterday. In fact, one of my team members, this is what says it all to me about we are in the right place at the right time, and all the other statements we often hear, which is actually true when it comes to Empower, is one of my team members, Ken. Okay, he put a little message on a private FB group yesterday, and he basically said, and I've worked with him for over a year now, so he was with me in the program that I was working, that I struggled with last year because of my injury. Okay, nothing wrong with the program. I just simply could not do the phone work required to make it work. And I found a lot of my team members, in particular newbies, did not have the back-end skills required to be able to convert a cold lead into, you know, a $1,500 sale. And so he put on Facebook that he's made more money since May with Empower than he has for the last 2 years doing other things combined. Okay, and so for me, that says it all. You know, it's one thing, and I'm sure everybody here agrees, if we make money, you know, we've got the skills or developed them in the past or what have you, or have a list or don't or what have you. But it's quite another thing that when you start to bring people in, and if they just start to focus on the system and they just start to blog daily and they just start to believe that getting 2 a day is easy and they start to plug into the daily assignments and just do what everyone else is doing, to see them get results as well, well, that says it all to me, and it's why I will be here for as long as you can keep this lovely company around, Dave, so make it many, many, many years to come. Thank you. So if you're not in, get in, okay? Your team, your future team will thank you. You need to let them know. I can't hear you.
Just get in. Just get in. Don't be a weenie about it. Just join. There's a button below the video. You can do that now. And just click the button. And as we're talking, just fill that out. And then you'll be taken to a video to buy more stuff. And just buy that too. And keep buying. And get all in and buy all the products. And the next guy, John, you know, you talked for a while. I just, you know, I think you're so cool, by the way. And I just think you're, you know, I want to see you make $100,000 a month. You know, get some maybe private jet money going at a little bit later down, a few years down. But, you know, what's your final thoughts for people watching this video? I mean, you were in a place where struggling in your life, like I was when I got started online, right? So we're similar in that regard. But you got started, you're, you know, making lots of money, you're making great money from lots of income sources, $12,000 this month just in Empower. You know, what do you got to say to people?
I don't know. It's pretty crazy because one point in my life I was sleeping on floors at random houses, didn't even know, like, and now, I mean, if you could see the back, I mean, that's Aria Casino right there. I'm living in a high-rise, like, I can't believe, you know, the lifestyle that I actually get to live now. I didn't even know I hit 10,000 a month because I was at Disneyland with my lady just having a blast. And I mean, man, I didn't know Disneyland's expensive, but it sure is. I know if you have some kids, you're dropping $1,000 or $2 easily in that place. And yeah, those sucks to drive. But, you know, I was in LA, I was all over town, and I was making money on autopilot. 99% of my signups I have never spoken to. They just sign up. You know, you don't have to be on the phone to make money with this. You don't have to work hard. All you got to do, simple, get in. It's $25. If you're already in, get all in, because if you're not, you're missing out on a lot of the training that you're going to get and the value and the education you need in order for it to work in your favor. Because the 2 a day to hit $10,000 a month, the only way that's going to work in your favor is getting all in. So figure out how you're going to do it, get the products, get the training, jump all in, and just run with us. Run with us because this is going to be the best time of your life. If you guys go and run with us, you will not regret it because we are going to the top. We are going to 1 million people. We are going to be in the top 10 in the U.S., and we're going to take over like no other. And everyone's going to be swarming to us because we are the Empower Network, and we are here as a community, and we are going to win. And if you want to win, you got to join the winning team, and that is Empower. Join now and stop wasting time. Seriously.
You're a badass, dude. I just kept saying, I want to join this tent. You know? I'm going to get in this deal. I'm going to get in this scheme, John, with you. I'm going to join the So, John Wells, don't be a wussy, just get in. Hey, John, can you just say it for me? Just say, don't be a wussy, just get in. Can you just
don't be a wussy, just get in.
Hey, we don't have to end with that. Hey, Christina, can you tell people don't be a wussy, just get in?
Oh, God almighty. Don't be a wussy, just get in.
Hey, Justin, what?
Australian accent. We say wimp in Australia.
Hey, Justin,
We say don't be a
your
wimp.
thoughts, buddy?
Here we go. Sweet. I just want to say I love your shirt, John Wells. Fight the forces of evil, brother. Star Wars, and that's where we're going to be in San Diego. My final thoughts is get your ass to San Diego. Stop making excuses. Do whatever it takes. You got to get there. I don't care what the excuse is. If you go there, it means you care about yourself. You may be in a situation where you think you can't afford it, but you can't afford not to miss the event. And I'm telling you that through personal experience. If I didn't go to the event, I wouldn't be making $26,000 this month. I'd still 5 or 6. I don't know where the people who go to money, and if
We can't hear you, Justin.
Oh,
Well, that's the beauty, is you can't hear him. His internet is this bad, you know what I mean? And it still works. I mean, to the tune of 26,000 in
no internet. If you can do it without the internet like Justin, you guys got to get in. Seriously.
Yeah, don't be a wussy. Just get in. Hey, Justin, can I just hear you say, don't be a wussy. Just get in. Oh, he's frozen. He's frozen.
He's frozen.
Oh, he's got the shirt. He's got the shirt. Hold on. Don't be a wussy. Just get in. Oh, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Dude, you're badass, Justin. Let's go over to Kevin, because Kevin, we can hear him. And you've been more quiet this whole time. I think we brought you up again. But, you know, what are your thoughts, man? I mean, everybody, they're watching this, you know, and they're like, well, I don't know. You know, I got my little deal. I'm earning these little weeny commissions. You know, what? What are your thoughts on this? You're at 20,000 this month. Just hit 20,000. I think you've only been marketing here for a couple of months, really seriously, maybe only since the event. And you're muted, by the way. I can't hear you. But what are your thoughts for people? I can't hear you. I think that you got to unmute yourself. There's a little thing to turn your microphone on in the upper right. It might be muted. I still can't hear you. So he can try to fix that, and we'll go to Mike Hobbs. Mike, what are your thoughts, man? Well, Kevin's trying to figure out his thing.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you letting me come back out here. Basically, you know, just get the blogging product and get all in, because here's the bottom line.
Mike, what are your thoughts, man?
Oh, my.
Kevin's trying to figure out.
Are we good? Something's going on.
Dave Sharpe was echoing there, so keep going.
Okay, cool. Well, bottom line is, you know, I got in Empower in November. End of November, and I did it strong for a couple of months, and then we had those little issues happen in Empower Network. And here's the epiphany that I had. I used to make, I was making quite a bit of money from Empower, and then they had that little hiccup, so we moved on a little bit. I lost focus. Then I went to the live event, Okay, I went to the live event, so if you're not at that live event right now, get your ticket, get all in, and just get to that event, because here's what happened after the event. I had a new, motivation to build Empower Network. So we started promoting Empower after the event, and just since the event, so we got back from the event, we have 124 sign-ups in Empower Network, and that is the $25 level just since the live event. And so my motivation level, and obviously, we just got started, because I'm going to tell you guys right now, over the next couple months, up until the next event, we will be getting the all-in sales almost daily. We will be getting, 2, 3, 5 signups a day, which we already do. I actually have a different goal, than a lot of people. A lot of people's goal was 2 signups a day. I was like, well, I'm going to give Justin 2 pass-ups a day. That's my goal. 2 pass-ups. That's what we want to do, and then obviously we want to upsell them into all the other products, because honestly, every product is worth its weight in gold. In fact, I'm going to the Costa Rica event next month as well, so I'm super excited. I'm all in Empower. I wish everybody would do the same thing, and I just want to let you guys know, I'm committed. So, I'm committed for your success, and the question is, are you committed for your success? So, with that, I'll bring it back to you, David.
Hey, Mike, can you just say, just for me, don't be a wussy, just get in, just because it's so funny when you say it.
Don't be a wussy, get all in.
Hey, thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming out. Hey, Kevin, can you talk now? Can't hear you. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Oh, well, we'll go to Tony Rush. Tony, what are your thoughts, man?
You know what? When I look back and I think of my own experience, but more importantly, when I see all these other stories, it just highlights, it's like the one mental thing that everybody can do. It's like the one move, if people would just get this, is everything starts with a decision. And that's it. It's like without a decision, nothing happens. And if you make a decision, then things start falling into place. But I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, 2 people. One of them was just like, I don't know how I'm going to get there, but I want to be there. And within 24 hours, he had it all figured out, and he had a San Diego ticket, and he was all in. And this is a guy that 24 hours earlier, he's like, dude, my back's against the wall. I just don't see any way I can do this. So the same week, though, I have a conversation with a guy, and I'm like, and he lives like in, oh, God, it doesn't matter. He lives in California. The guy lives in California. And it was like in his backyard, this event. And I said, hey, man, are you coming to San Diego? And he said, well, I'm not sure yet. If I have the money, I'll be there. If I get the money together to go, I'll be there. And I said, here's what you got to get, man. When you say, I don't know if I'm going to be there, I haven't made a decision, what you're really saying is, if you say, I haven't decided if I'm going to be there or not, you're actually saying, I'm not going to be there. So if you've already decided that you're not going to be there, there's not like, in other words, there's not this middle ground. I've either decided to be there or I've not decided to be there, right? It's the same thing. It's opposite sides of the coin, But there's not this middle ground. And I said, here's the thing, man. When you say, I haven't decided if I'm going or not, but you'll go if you get the money, how would you ever get the money to do something that you've actually not decided to do? And never mind that we're talking about a guy who's like, he's in the business less than a week, so his ticket's only $99. And then never mind the fact that he's got, how many days does he have to make money, in this business before he has to actually go anywhere? So it's interesting when I see the two opposite attitudes. Some people just say, you know what? This is my chance. This is the opportunity that I've never had before to actually earn what I'm worth and to be a financial hero to my wife or my husband or my kids, to be a meaningful contribution. And some people are grabbing that with both hands. And the funny thing is about this business, David, like if you were to line up 10 people in front of me and describe each one of them to me and ask me which ones do you think are actually going to be successful here, I take a stand that all 10 of them can be successful. But it's amazing to me that sometimes the people that will absolutely surprise you the most are the ones that you think, man, I'm not sure they're going to be able to pull it off. And they just come out of nowhere and crush it. And then you got people that have like had some success in some company years ago or something, and you think, man, they're going to come here and knock the cover off the ball. And it seems like it's just funny. It's an interesting business to be in because you never know who's going to actually be the ones to knock the cover off the ball. But anyway, it all boils down to decision. And when I got that, man, my whole life changed. And that's the way I live my life here at Empower. It's like you see something you want to do. Ordinary people look at their circumstances and decide what they think they can do. And badasses look at their goals and decide what they're going to do. So, there's people watching the video today who've been here every minute since we've been on here for like 2.5, almost 3 hours now. I would say you already know what you want to do. You really do. If you've been watching it this long, you already know what you want to do. Go do that. Go do that. And if you're already in the company, then just get all in. Be in San Diego. Bring a bunch of people with you. This will absolutely change your life. So don't be a wussy. Just get all in.
Wait. Next person I want to introduce. Hold on, I gotta introduce here today.
Oh my God.
Well, we're doing the shirtless thing. Dave came in. We've got the shirtless on the top of the site, and so, I just figured I did the nude interview with Jonathan Butt on my blog. I just figured that we're just keeping it in spirit. So Dave, wait. Can you talk? By the way, I think you're muted out. Oh wait, we might bring in. Wait, let's bring in Kevin Connect. Kevin, you gotta take your shirt off, buddy. It's this thing. Hey, can you talk this time, Kevin? I can't hear you. So anyways, wanted to introduce, sorry about that, man. Kevin Connect, he just said, I don't know if you guys can lip read, he said, don't be a wussy, just get in. He's making $20,000 a month like clockwork. Don't be a weenie about it. Just hit the button and join. And if you're in, get all in and go to the event. We've got 1,500 people registered for the event already. We've got 30 people registering a day. At that pace, we'll have somewhere between 3,000 and 4,000 people there. Guys, it'll be the biggest internet event ever. So, but Dave Sharpe, we film videos like this all the time shirtless because it's cool. He's running a lot of the infrastructure stuff for Empower, and Justin, he's in the spirit, we just stripping down, taking the shirts off, just getting it going. But Dave, you came on, what are your thoughts? We're closing this out, giving people final thoughts. What are your thoughts as co-founder here, visionary, best business partner I've ever had? What do you think people should do? What are your thoughts about this live stream in the dude that we're doing? I can't hear you, bud. You got to unmute yourself. There's a thing where there's a picture of the microphone in the upper right. We muted you out a little bit earlier when you came.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you fine just now.
What the hell's going on, everybody? I'm in this piece, man. I'm in this piece. You know what I'm saying? I got to tell you, here's what I'm kind of thinking is that, I'm hearing Tony Rush. I got to tell you guys, I was just hanging out with Tony last night on the call, and we just kicked ass last night. You know what I'm saying? Tony, I got to tell you,
that was a badass call, wasn't it?
You're a rock star, dude. And every single one of you, I'm sitting here and I'm, listening to Christina, and I actually will. I want to share something that happened to us maybe 2 weeks ago. When we started the company, obviously, when you're moving fast and you're breaking stuff and you're moving and shaking and you're kind of stirring the pot a little bit, you're always going to have people who are kind of sitting on the sidelines looking, kind of throwing stones, the naysayers, the haters, you call them whatever you want to call them. A lot of people were shaken up kind of at what happened with Empower, and a lot of times, especially when we were going through the challenges that we were going through at the beginning of when we started the company, everybody was just kind of seen because we were so upfront and transparent with just the bank issues and the merchant issues, and this is just normal startup stuff that a lot of people just don't really ever get the opportunity to see because the owners of the company are obviously not going to get on a live stream shirtless and just talk about what's really going on. But one of the things that also happened was behind the scenes was we were taking a lot of flack too. And Tony Rush was talking about this last night actually, and I really started to get kind of a little bit emotional because there's something special when you just have a dream and you have a vision and you just don't quit, no matter what's happening around you. And I think what we're doing here today is the same thing that we're doing when we started this company, but we're going against the grain a little bit, and we're doing things not because it makes everybody happy in these top kind of mountain guru-like positions, but because it's making an impact and influencing normal average people. Because we're just sick and tired of the bullshit. And somebody sent us an email. Actually, one of the people who had literally taken a couple stabs at us out in the open, not even behind our backs. And it was after they watched the video that Christina did. And that it's those kind of stories. It's those kind of testimonials. It's that kind of social proof that makes us what we are. A lot of people, I think, sometimes get it confused that it's a one-man or a two-man or a three-man or a four-man show. That it's the Dave Wood show or the Dave Sharpe show or the Tony Rush show or the Tracey Walker show. But the thing that Dave Wood knows and Dave Sharpe knows and Tony Rush knows and Tracey Walker knows and Justin Verrengia knows and Mike Hobb knows and Christina Munoz knows, and Aaron Rashkin knows, and Lawrence Timden, we all know that it's not about us, it's actually about the people. And that this is actually about having an army of people with a unified vision that are kind of all out with a mission to release their inner badass. And that's what this is really all about. I'm sitting here and I'm, getting ready to go over to California here because I'm going to a speakers conference. And you're for those of you who are looking at this call tonight, I think this is kind of a unique perspective because sometimes you hear us on conference calls or you see us in Facebook groups. You don't get an opportunity to really kind of look at us in the flesh and say, these guys are just normal, average people, just like I am. And the fact of the matter is just like I was talking about last night. You're looking at a guy, a kid who 10 years ago. Nobody thought that I was going to make it out of my 20s. I was 18 years old 20 years ago. I was, just getting started trying to kill myself. I was just getting started on kind of my path of destruction. And even 4.5 years ago, when I just kind of came around to saying I'm tired of trying to kill myself, and I'm tired of kind of walking down this, this place of just darkness and emptiness, and I'm going to turn my life around, they still had no idea what could happen. And I'm telling you that inside, I always had a dream and always had a vision that I could go out and make an impact on people. And I didn't know how I was going to do it. I didn't know that one day I was going to have the opportunity to be able to work with tens of thousands of people around the world and with some of the most talented people in the entire network marketing, direct sales, affiliate marketing industry. I didn't know that I was going to have the honor to be able to serve as many people as we're serving here in Empower Network. But I'm going to tell you that if you're watching this call tonight, no matter where you're at, what you're doing, what pains you're facing, right here, right now, you can do it. But you can only do it. You can only do it if you don't give up on your dream and if you do everything that you can possibly do to get around the people who are going to push you to release your inner badass. Because I'm going to tell you that every single one of you who are watching this call tonight have this inner fucking badass that is just dying to get out of you. And I'm telling you what, you're looking at a guy right here who I'm telling you, people never thought that I was going to be in a position to really make a difference. And it wasn't because I didn't have the potential. It was just because they just didn't believe in me. They just didn't. People are so pessimistic. And I'm telling you, sometimes, just sometimes, you've got to delete everybody else's wussy. And you've got to say, you know what? No matter what you say about me, no matter what you think that you can do, damn it, I'm not going to let you step on my dreams. And I'm going to keep pushing forward, and I'm going to make this happen regardless. That's it, period. And I'm going to tell you that I've never seen a group of people like what we have here in Empower Network. And guys, I have never seen so many people stay so pumped up for so long most people, they go for a couple of months, they make a bunch of money, and they're like, woo-hoo! That was a great ride, but I'm telling you guys, it won't stop. The passion will not end. And I'm telling you that this is something that's unique, it's different, and if you're sitting on the sidelines right now, there's a good chance that you're watching this video that you're already in. But here's what's more possible than anything is you're already in, but you haven't crossed over the line because you don't yet believe that you can do it. And I don't know how much proof that you need that you can do it. If, a 28-year-old ex-homeless, drug addict, alcoholic guy who was never supposed to do anything except, go and screw some shit up, and a guy who lived in a damn van who walks and wanders around the world fucking shoeless, can do it. If a guy like Justin Verrengia, who also wanders around, if a guy like John Wells, who freaking I've seen those people in Vegas. I know what they were. I know where that guy was at. I was just there a month and a half ago, and if he can do it, guys, you can do it too. And I've been in the sun all day. I was out jet skiing with my daughter because I'm getting ready to go out to California here for about a week and sit through a seminar to learn how to be a better speaker. Because I believe in education. I believe in doing what we tell you guys to do. I believe that in order to lead people, you've got to do what you're telling people to do. But I was out in the sun all day riding jet skis because, we actually live what we talk about. Last night I was talking about, after Tony Rush inspired me to talk about my daughter, that one of the greatest blessings that I actually have is that she comes to me every day, 7 days a week, and says, Daddy, what are we doing today? She doesn't have a concept of, whether it's Monday, Friday, Sunday, or Wednesday. She comes to me every single day. And you know what I have to do? I have to try to, come up with an angle of how I can, get a little bit done. And of course, it's summertime as well. And also I'm running kind of a big infrastructure of our company here at down in St. Pete, Florida. So I've got to pop in there and kind of do things as well. But I'm going to tell you that when she comes to me every day and she says, Daddy, what are we doing today? I can tell you that, 4 or 5 years ago, I would have never thought that I'd have the opportunity to have her with me full time and her asking me that very question. And it's that makes it worth it. It's not, let me tell you something, making $30,000, $40,000 a month, guys, that'll change your life. It'll allow you to do things that you just weren't possible before. But when those type of things happen, I want you to think about that for a second. I want you to think, school's out. Those of you who have got kids, think about that. Your daughter, your son coming to you every day saying, what are we doing? That's probably one of the most priceless things that can happen to us. And for a guy like me, that means more than anything. I'm not going to ramble on too much because I've actually got to finish packing here. I was just feeling a little bit froggy. I'm actually not naked. I do have I do have shorts on. I just wanted, that was my disclosure tonight. I'm not going to do any income disclosure or anything because, quite frankly, I'm just not in the mood. I'm just ready. I'm just here to just screw all the bullshit, guys. Get in, get 100% commissions. Blog. I loved what Mike had to say because it is really the easiest, simplest thing that you can teach people to do, which is blog on a daily basis and express themselves and shoot videos and write cool content. I mean, who doesn't want to do that? This is not only something that people in the industry want. This is something that people want all over the place. Get plugged in. Understand what we're doing, guys. We're building out some things on the inside of Empower Network that are truly going to not just have you guys excited, but out of your mind. And I promise you that. I guarantee it. What we're doing in San Diego, I want to just say this and I'm done. For the top 25 leaders, we're doing an all expenses paid Wednesday night. Come in, hang out with us. Thursday all day, end the day on a yacht, hang out. Everything's paid for by us. We want to treat our leaders like they deserve to be treated. Tony Rush, I don't know if he's still on, but he called me the other day and he said, hey, Dave, can I get a link or a number for the hotel room? I said, Tony, don't worry about it. Tony, that's not something that you need to worry about because what we want to do is we want to really reward the leaders and the people here who are making things happen and treat them the way that they're supposed to be treated. And I just came on right when Dave was talking about allowing people to be free. I'm going to tell you something. This is a community of freedom. This is a community of people who not only act like they're free, but they think like they're free. I mean, that is one of the most rewarding things that you can be a part of. So, anyways, you know what? I was just feeling a little froggy. I wanted to jump on and just kind of, kind of just freak everybody out and get naked here on the live stream here. But anyways, I just want to tell you guys who are on tonight, it's an honor to be with you guys. It's an honor to be, doing this thing with you. Those of you who are watching, it's an honor to be serving you in every possible way. And I can tell you that this has turned into something that is way beyond my wildest dreams. And I'm thankful and grateful every single day that I wake up and I pinch myself, and this thing is real. And I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but it's been a long time coming that something has showed up inside of this industry that can not only make a difference for some of the people at the top, but can also make a difference for people at the bottom who are just getting started. Because I don't know if you guys know, but there was just a few years ago that I was there, that I was struggling, that I was broke, that I was robbing Peter to pay Paul, that I had no money in my savings account, and I didn't know where my next paycheck was coming from. And my daughter didn't come to me every day and ask me what we were doing because she already knew the answer. We weren't doing nothing. Daddy had to figure out a way to go out there and put food on the table. Today it's not like that. And for that, I'm grateful. And if I can do it, guys, look, 4.5 years ago, I couldn't put 2 sentences together. And just a couple of years ago, I couldn't even write a damn sentence. People used to send me emails back. Anything can be done. Anything is possible. If you have a little itsy-bitsy, tiny, itty-witty-bitty, little weaselly-weeny little dream, then we want to teach you how to turn that into a big badass dream and go out there and release your inner badass, guys. We'll see you in San Diego. If you really want to make it happen and hang out with us, then make it to San Diego for that leaders retreat, and we're going to show you guys really what having fun inside of this industry is all about. Love you guys.
I think I heard Kevin connect.
Can you hear me now?
I can.
Yeah, you got to join. That's all, guys. Just get in, hit the button below. There's nothing else to say except for welcome to the team. If you ain't in yet, you can do that now. So welcome aboard, guys. Delete the inner pussy in you, and we'll see you in San Diego. I'm ending the hangout now. Thank you guys for coming and joining us tonight. Thanks for everybody who came on, and let's lock arms and fight the force to be. Talk soon, folks.